Hey everybody, it is Jason Glatzer here with Krister Larson. Absolutely honored to be here with Krister here at the WSOP Circuit Tallinn. We have a little bit of a break in the tournament action. We're going to be presenting tonight an action-packed 25-25 Hold'em game. But before we get into the action, we have a little bit of a surprise here, Krister. So what's going on before we start?
No, I think good to be here, Jason. I think we will see a little bit of from the awards ceremony from the 5K tournament that ended here yesterday morning, actually.
Wow, yes, that was a marathon affair won by David Vinaya. So we're going to see the awards ceremony, and then we're going to hop right into the action. Can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a ring event winner, and this is the 5,000 euro no limit hold'em from Norway, taking home 94,280 euro. Please give a hand to David Vinaya.
Well, that was David Vinaya getting his ring. Absolute epic victory. It was around 5-6 in the morning.
Yeah.
What a marathon that was. What a victory.
Yeah, it was a really, really long day and a very strong field as well that he, in the end, took down. So, yeah, kudos to him.
Well, here we go, right into the action here, Krister.
Yeah, it's interesting to see after all this tournament poker the last couple of days to see some action at the cash game tables. And the players are from various countries. I think that we have a couple of Finns, Estonian, Latvians at the table, and they will play 25-25, no limit, hold'em. And I guess we will see some straddle, maybe some bomb pots as well, and it's like a free-for-all.
And this is a game that you would probably like to play, assuming that the conditions were a little bit different, Krister, right? You're a big Hold'em player yourself, or you prefer Omaha?
Personally, I prefer Omaha, even more action, but of course this looks to be quite a juicy game as well. So the players I think I bought in from maybe between 2.5 and 10k euros. So let's see how the night pans out.
And these look like a bunch of cash game grinders. I've seen their faces on the casino floor, which has been absolutely hopping all week long. Not so hard to get a seat, but yet there's still like 15, 20 tables seemingly running at all times and expected to be running like that throughout the weekend. The one exception, though, is Toiko Bernstein, the gentleman wearing the short sleeves, blue shirt. He is also a tournament grinder. He plays cash games. He plays it all at the highest level. So I expect big things out of him. But let's see how the day goes on.
Yeah, Tuku is a really, really strong tournament player in different game variants, and he have a couple of big scores here in Tallinn over the years.
And it does look like it is 10-25, and right off the bat, Juuso with the ladies, raising it up to 3x, up to 75 euros. And so far, nobody waking up with a hand.
I guess Janne is interested from the big blind with 4-5.
And this should be easy to get away from Janne, but he may try to rep that he has something. It is a board that would more suit, let's say, the big blinds range rather than the under the gun opening range. But it does go check, check. And the 5 of clubs on the turn shouldn't really change that much for Janne, but after Juuso checked it back, he might be putting his opponent on an ace-king, ace-queen type of hand.
He's playing it a little bit slow here, and of course we can see that this is the correct move in this situation. So
is that an overbet? It is an overbet of 200 euros on the turn, so checks the flop, overbet on the turn.
Interesting start. And we can also see here that the players have bought in with different stack sizes as well. So
those red chips are the 5s, the blue ones are the 25s, the black ones are 100. And I'm not sure I've seen yellow chips myself so much, but the yellow chips I believe are 500s, and then the white ones I believe are 1K chips.
yes.
And we can take a look at the stacks. Most players buying in for the minimum of 100 big blinds, 2,500, but they can buy in for more at any given time. And that would have been a nice hand on that last flop with the Queen Jack, but still worthy of opening to 75. And let's see if Kenneth 3-bets here. It is a 3-bet, a pretty ace-jack suited.
Yeah, puts Igor's in a really different spot here. Does Kenneth also have the position on him?
And we can imagine that at these stakes, that these players have likely, at least for the most part, have played with each other before. There's not necessarily this massive community of 25 and higher Hold'em players, but the games do run. But you know, as you get higher and higher in the stakes, the player pools start to get lower and lower logically.
Yes, but also now this cash game just started as well, so I would think that it's like the first round in the heavyweight boxing, waiting to see what the players are doing and so on. But I guess the longer the evening goes, the more action we will see. We will also see deeper stacks at that time.
And maybe even things like the Deuce 7 game to spicing things up. We will see the stand-up game has become popular here at times when cash games have run on stream in Tallinn. There have been some epic cash game streams here over the years for sure. And Janne defending with the Queen 10 versus the open of the 7-8 by Janne from the button. And let's see if Janne is going to try to rep that ace. It's easier to rep it when you're opening from other positions than the button, but you can rep it from the button as well pretty easily. And a quick c-bet, only 1/4 of the pot. More of a tournament style c-bet there.
Yes. No, but this is kind of autoplay in this at this stage. And I can also say here in Tallinn now, simultaneously with this cash game, we have just broken the bubble in the main event, day 2.
All right.
We are down to 133, 134 players. Min payout was 2,850, so we have in the big ballroom 135 really happy players at the moment. And at the same time, the Sweden ring event is ongoing. I don't know, with something like 90, 100 entries, so there's action all over the place. And of course, down in the casino, the cash game tables are starting to fill up.
And there's also a third ring event happening today in that 1K mystery bounty, day 1 as well. So really no shortage of ring events, no shortage of side events, no shortage of cash games.
No shortage of anything.
No shortage of people playing the Moon Machine either. Those are always booked up.
Yeah. It's great fun to see all these players here in Tallinn having fun, playing cards and enjoying the community and all the happy people around here having fun for the week.
And do you know what I'm going to play tomorrow, Chris? Or you probably can't guess because it's going to be a weird one from when I answer you, but it's going to be the online event tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a 350 buy-in.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I would have guessed that you would play a Yahtzee game.
I did promise to play some Maxi Yahtzee too, so maybe that'll be the choice of the evening, but there's no ring awarded for Maxi Yahtzee, at least this year.
Oh, that's true. And I seriously doubt it will come the upcoming years either. We will see about that.
We can create the Maxi Yahtzee Championship of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we will get some takers from this region.
What can you do? It's not like Yanni. What's wrong with my shirt? He wasn't prepared for TV.
I do like that things have lightened up instantly. Maybe it took a hand or two. You're playing under some lights, some cameras. It takes a hand or two to forget that you're really just playing poker.
Yeah. yeah, with help from a little bit of coffee, I guess the banter will increase also.
I gave to Kenneth last night was like,
Took a
Here.
bit.
and he's still friendly with me.
I would expect a 3-bet. We did see now a new sizing. We were seeing the 75 open, and this is a 60 open. And the 3-bet's a little bit bigger than what we've seen too. We've seen 200 3-bets on 75. This is 250 on a 60.
And Yusso folds ace-5 wisely, and Toko shows this kind of strength from small blind.
I didn't say it, I just told whatever.
I think they are just, as I said before, this is some shadow boxing to start with to see where they are at.
You need to sacrifice something.
I love the view we have on this table. We have the World Series of Poker branding, but of course the iconic Kings of Tallinn branding, which took place at the end of February, beginning of March. That was an exciting event as well.
Yeah,
I do really love the Kings of Tallinn personally.
yeah, it's just being bigger and bigger and bigger, and we'll be back with Kings of Tallinn again in February 2026. And now we have a couple of interesting hands here, with Jaakko having ace king from the big blind. So the question is if he will 3-bet, or I would guess he will 3-bet, but the question is what the sizing of this as well.
He
We've
is
seen
reaching.
we haven't seen any calls from 3-bets yet.
And being that he's out of position, it looks like he sized it up a bit as well on a 60 raise. He had the 275.
Makes it a little bit harder for Igors to, you know, what are you doing with the snowman in this position?
If they were a bit deeper, it's a snap call.
Yeah, of course. So I think Jaakko did the right thing, and he will, of course, he can, if he hits the ace or the king, he can go on, and if he doesn't hit, he can rep. He can, even if he doesn't hit, he can definitely rep, you know, a high pair with that sizing of the 3-bet as well. So in this case, he hits not only one ace but two.
Trip aces with that king kicker. Is he going to try to disguise his strength with a check? Doesn't look like he's going to be playing that way. And then Igors is actually going to be in a rough spot here.
Yeah, because he might believe that Jaakko sits with a pair of queens, pair of kings, or something, so he might actually tag along here. Yeah, he does. So
Can't blame him at least seeing a turn. And if Jaakko checks back the turn, he might even call a river bet, but this 9 is a little bit dicey, but once again, it shouldn't really change much with your 8s.
No, because Igors now is the person that actually represents kind of the aces, and Jaakko is in a really good position. So I guess he will continue to make a smaller bet, maybe 400, 300, something like that, just to see if Igors takes the bait. Now he goes with 500.
And casually getting his bottle of water at the same time.
I would actually maybe make this like 350 or 400 instead, just to see if Igors might try to shove or something. But now it's hard, because if Igor calls this hand, he's pretty much committing. So I would actually expect a fold from Igors here. But it's a tricky situation.
And Igors does lay it down, so Krister's spot on there. Maybe the bet sizing was too big, but I think if you're continuing flop turn, depends on how much they know about each other. It seems like a smart way to get out of the way. At least if you were drawing to something, you can maybe think, okay, I'm ahead and I can draw to something bigger, but with pocket 8s, it's very hard to think that you're going to hit one of the 2 8s to hit that full house.
Yeah, that's why I meant that if he's downsizing the bet to 300 or something like that, it might hit, you know, the bluff trigger with Igors, but he's a good player, so he doesn't fall for this one. So the 500 looked like more like a value bet, right? So
Did we just see a walk with 10-6 by Yanni? Happy days.
Yeah. Let's have a sip of that apple juice.
So while we have mostly men at this table, I think that's all going to change pretty soon, Krister. What's coming up next?
Yeah, we have the big ladies only festival here in Tallinn, Queens of Tallinn, starting the 21st of August. It's just a couple of weeks away, so that's going to be great fun with ladies only events for 4 days straight. And now we see some action at the table with a couple of pairs and Giannis 8-10.
I do like the call with the 9s just because with under the gun open, and he's going to get rewarded, I believe, here. I mean, this is a flop that's really hit everybody a little bit, Juuso a little bit less.
Yeah, but he had the bottom straight throw and hits the flush as well. So this is, I don't think that Juuso will do anything at this point, but it's tricky with this low flush.
I won't be surprised to see Yanni take actually a stab at this, but does check as well. And the full house now.
Now we might see something, but it's tricky for you. So, you know, will he call the bet from? Oh, Janne checks his full house.
Wow. Perhaps hoping somebody is going to bluff. He has to think he's good here.
Yeah, but also the pot is only, so to speak, 180 as well, and somebody might just try something out, and that's exactly what happens. You just make a small bet.
And is Yanni going to try to unsuccessfully steal it? We know Yanni's not going anywhere. Is it Yanni and Yanni?
Janne depends on if you're from Sweden or Finland or Janne.
How much is he gonna jack it up to? Because the queen 9 would be like the only obvious hand you'd be behind, but you're blocking that. It is the big blind, obviously, so it could be some queen 8s. Maybe a suited queen 6, but you can't be worried about any of that. Needs to raise here.
Yeah, of course he will. It's just the matter of if he's oversizing it to kind of look like a bluff or whatever. It will be very tricky for you to come along. But let's see. Now he goes in with 500. Oh, 360. And he calls.
Oh, wow.
Use an insta call with
wow,
the
wow.
low flush. So these guys might have a history.
This is not Omaha. This is not Omaha.
This is not Omaha, Janne.
So Yanni winning the first decent sized pot here on the stream.
Yeah, so the ladies event 21st to 24th, Queens of Tallinn, 21st to 24th of August. It's going to be really great fun to see all the ladies. And the main event, €350 buy-in, and battling it out for the Queen's necklaces.
I'm waiting. I'm counting in my head.
You don't need to wait. I have ace king. Seriously,
I kind of
Yanni, why are you laughing? I actually have.
I kind of believe you. Because if you lie, I see you.
Eagles racing up with ace jack.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah.
That's why I
But
believe you.
still, Yanni is still laughing because I never had any gangs in my life. And he's still laughing, but I actually had. I
Could be true.
Also hit in the low pairs.
He got punished with the 5s. Let's see if he can do a little bit better with the 3s. The lower the pairs get, the easier they are to get away from.
Still Yanni is laughing.
Yeah, this should be fairly easy.
Still Yanni is laughing.
Is Igor's checking top pair? No, it was a graphics. A little bit too quick there. A small bet of €45. We'll get the job done. Really no reason for the players in the blinds to do anything super fancy. And as I say that, it's not really getting the job done yet. Juuso Being a little bit sticky there.
Yeah, a pair is a pair, as they say.
And now he has a gut shot, so he actually has 6 outs.
Yeah, 2 3s, yes, and all the 4s.
But how come Yanni is still in the hand too? This is a bit unorthodox, I have to say, especially with an ace on the board. And it might give Igor some cause from concern.
300 is the bet, 400 is the bet, yeah.
Wow, Yanni making a move. Perhaps smelling some weakness that isn't really there, but no, I guess that didn't happen. Igor's bet the 400. This makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, exactly. I was a little bit surprised there, but now when when he calls the turn or the flop, might be interested in this one actually, but he should just walk away, of course. Especially with a little bit with the oversized turn bet, which is kind of standard now, you know, with the oversized turn bet. But he's tagging along.
And he gets rewarded. Wow, 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 wow.
But it's a diamond, so it's a little bit scary as well. But I would imagine that Igor is not too happy about this outcome with the diamond as well. But because, hey, what is he coming along with? But for Juuso, this is like heaven, and I would think check here, yeah. And Juuso will take it down with the 3 with the straight. Yeah, it's playing a little bit reversed, Juuso.
Yes, and I imagine the queen 9 folded on the flop, but that's why we saw it betting the 400 on the turn. Just a little bit too quick there.
Well, could we see a smile, Juuso?
Yeah, let it out, let it out. Maybe he's still thinking about the 5s from the hand before.
Possibly. Yeah, that was a good comeback. So Tuukka picks up ace jack under the gun. Wow. Now we might see some fireworks with the Cowboys from Igor's.
Yeah.
You know, especially after last hand when he lost with the ace jack, so
it could be like a sizing, hey, I'm trying to get some of those chips back from before, not that I'm strong, but Toika with the snap fold, that's 2 good reads by him so far.
yeah. But it's very tricky to play against a 3-bet with ace jack, in sitting first in position as well. Actually needs to hit kind of 2 pairs to feel comfortable, or at least a jack and dry board. So it's a tricky position and a good fold from Tuukka.
He's one player that no matter what game he's playing, he seems to always know what's going on. He runs deep in mixed games, he runs deep in Hold'em tournaments as well. I've seen him with big stacks down in the cash game area from time to time. He does focus mostly on the tournaments during things like the Kings of Tallinn when you have that leaderboard. Here there's no leaderboard. You play the tournaments that you want to play. You can go down and play cash games, and it's not going to affect your leaderboard standing.
Here we actually see Kenneth open. I think this is the first hand he's been involved in, right? Involved with 60, and Jaakko is 3-betting with the 7s.
It's a very
and Juuso
light
picks up a hand as well. This time is not a small pair. See how he works with this one. If he bets raise this pot, I would think that he actually doing this.
I actually really like this 4-bet in general.
You will get a lot of information, and you don't want to play ace queen in the blind, like without having this information. So yeah, it worked out this time. And now he's close to a smile.
Almost.
Almost there.
So it's a busy schedule ahead for Alibet Poker. It's not only the Queens coming up, then it's off to Riga for the Alibet Showdown.
through that in September 21st, something like that. Yeah, we start all about Showdown Riga, and after that we also have the Kings of Vilnius in Lithuania in November. So that's the bigger events coming up from presented by Olibet in the near future, and then of course everybody's also looking forward to the Kings of Tallinn in February.
I may have to travel out for that Vilnius event.
Well, you're close by.
I can walk to the Vilnius event, so I will definitely be at the Vilnius event and the Riga event. Riga is one of my favorite places to play poker.
Yeah,
It's right in the heart of the city.
Yeah, Voodoo Casino in Riga. It's a very nice casino and friendly staff and a nice environment to play in. And of course, as always, when Olibet is hosting the events, good staffing with great dealers and floors. So we have Jusso making the raise to 60, and Igor's in position. Coming over the top.
With an active Yuso, this is a brilliant 3-bet, but I have a feeling Igor's would have been 3-betting anyway, but especially so in this case.
Yeah.
But we know Yuso likes to see flops, so I think he's going to be calling. We know he can't really 4-bet unless he really senses weakness, so he does call. It's a better flop for the 3-better, but the 6s are still ahead, but Igor's is likely going to try to rep that ace.
Yes, he will. Of course, and it will be very tough for Yususu to tag along here, but he's been sticky.
Yeah, he's like a pair is a pair. We've seen it happen twice, but not a third time.
No.
He got away with it once, not the first time, but the second time, and the third time where he's actually ahead, and maybe it could have been a little bit of sticky with this pair was the time he got out of the way. So the stream schedule for the rest of the way, I know we're going to be on with cash games for about 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours this evening, and then tomorrow will be day 3, I believe, from the start. Is that right, Krister?
Yes, actually, timing of when we're starting the stream tomorrow, I don't have it. You can find that information on Olibet events and the Poker Pro. But we are streaming from day 3 and tomorrow, and then of course from the final day, the final table on Sunday, starting at noon. So lots of action from the main event still to come. They are battling it out now in the main ballroom here at Hilton Olympic Casino, and they are in the money.
Record prize pool and also record first prize for an Olibet event with a 200,200 euro first place prize.
Yeah.
As it is a WSOP Circuit event, you can't even make a deal, so it's going to be one player walking home very, very happy.
Oh, for sure, and 200k in first prize. That's good money, and yeah, the prize pool is 1.1, north of 1.1 million euros in total, and one winner will take a big chunk of that. But I guess it's plenty for all of the players, especially on the final table.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty for all. There's more than one, even 6-figure prize on the line.
Oh yeah, I think second prize is something like 130 or 128 or something. So yeah, it's a decent payday.
So I go with the 9-7 suited from the hijack. And gets a walk here. Well, if it's a tournament when you're playing with like average stacks of 20, 25, sometimes 30, even 40 big blinds, you don't mind those kind of spots where you're just taking the blinds, but I'm pretty sure he would have rather have seen a flop anyway, built up the pot a little bit with the 9-7 suited. Playing cash games when you're really deep stack, it's more about getting money into the pot versus really just managing the number of big blinds that you have in your stack.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I'm actually a little bit surprised. They have been playing a little bit by the book so far, but normally you see more more strange, as you might think, bets and races in cash games because the opportunity to actually get a really good payout if you hit your 6, 3, 4, 5. But now we see Jaakko is 3-betting Kenneth's race, Queen 10 with 210, and Kenneth folds. So at the moment there's quite a lot of respect for the 3-bets at this table.
Yeah, anytime it's 3-bet, we're basically seeing folds. I think this was a standard one, the open with the Queen 10. I mean, we could see it's against 8s where you actually had pretty decent equity, but it can easily be an Ace Queen, Ace 10 even, you know, Ace King.
Yeah, we'll see if the game loosens up a little bit.
At least the banter has loosened up quite a bit.
Yeah. Kenneth pops it up to 60.
Oh-ho, big slick for Yuso, bumping it to 200.
Actually, I would like to see a call from Kenneth there with Jack 8. It's quite an interesting hand to play against a 3-bet, but not to be this time. So the question is when we will start to see the 4-bets or calling the 3-bets, but it's a little bit, at the moment, a lot of respect around the table, feeling each other out, and Kenneth continues with a standard raise to 60. It looks like no takers.
I think Toiko is going to defend here, despite it. We see that he's dominated it. They are 2 suited cards with a good price from the big blind.
Yes, yes.
Even though Kenneth didn't hit, he has more kings than Toiko. It's going to go check bet something. We'll see if Toiko wants to play some fancy play here. It is a small bet, but a snap fold once again.
Mä katsoin, näin, mä olin tuossa tauolla kävelemässä puistossa. Teillä oli jotain esteitä siinä pingistä pöydällä.
I think we hear some finish at the tables between the hands.
Do you understand what they're saying in Finnish?
No, not at all. You see these pairs.
Every other hand, it seems.
Yeah. Kenneth comes along with 6-4, as he should, defending.
Pretty good flop for Kenneth, actually. Gets that flush draw, backdoor straight draw. I don't think he's going anywhere. He does need to check, and Yuso is he going to check it back? Is he going to bet?
2 overcards on the. So I guess he will try make one try at least.
I think it's good because you could check back the turn, where if you check back the flop, you may get blasted against a smart enough player to sense something there.
But he makes it 45 only, so I guess it's an easy call for Kenneth.
I need a stream, guys. I need a stream. No, it's serious.
Double flush draws out there now. So
In Estonia, it's like it's gathering all the.
this is a good card for Yusu.
Enthusiasts from all over the Europe.
And because of that check back, he
Yeah, but I think still Kenneth most likely would have called the turn bet anyway if not oversizing it. So
But if it was a blank river, let's say, then if Kenneth bet, that at least makes it easier for him to call with his eights by checking back that turn.
definitely. So I think Jussi did the right thing, even though at this point it will hurt him a little bit. But he actually calls the 60.
It's a small bet. Maybe he just wants to get some information. Maybe he thinks he's ahead. He's blocking the straight at least.
Yeah. So Kenneth takes down I think it's the first pot for today.
It's been like, probably like...
Yeah, I think he maybe won one
It's been held in
earlier, small one.
event,
So
and we've been attending in multiple years.
You've been there together.
Yeah.
And this guy.
No, he didn't qualify.
looks like they're having fun at the table. If we don't count Juuso, of course. It looks like I'm quite sure that he's on his toes, but he looks pretty relaxed and almost sleeping at the table.
Igor's can't be too thrilled about that with the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure he would have liked to have had at least a caller, if not been 3-bet.
Of course. We have one player sitting out as well at the moment.
Perhaps needed to take a phone call, which you can't do at the tables.
Exactly. Jaakko picks up King Jack as well, so some action from his side, from the small blind.
Yanni getting out of the way, and lucky he probably did. If it's a king high flop, he's going to be losing a lot more chips.
No, it's not easy to get away with the king in Battle of the Blinds. Normally, you maybe 3-bet or float in position at that point, but we can see that he made the right decision.
Jaakko raising to 75 with the 7 deuce suited. So maybe there's a 7 deuce game we don't know about, but it is a button raise. He can be opening with any 2 from the button, really. Yanni with a big sizing with the 3-bet, but it is from the small blind.
It's pretty interesting, actually. Puts Jaakko in a tricky spot, of course, depending if there is any kind of side bets out there. But oh, he comes. Oh, he 4-bets.
Wow.
500-600.
This is the first big move that we've seen thus far at the TV table for this 10-25 cash game affair.
And Janne will have nothing of it.
Wow.
He's calling. So this is going to be interesting to see how Jaakko handled this. He can, of course, rep the ace now. So, but is he making a move here?
He has the room
he has
do
to.
it. Yeah.
But the question is the sizing of it. You know, like if he's going with 500, right? Yeah. So
300.
300
even
on
smaller.
all that. Ooh, that looks like a value info bet, and it works.
Show it, show it, show it. I guess there's no 7 deuce game after all.
Well, maybe he was a little bit embarrassed. No, great play from the button. Actually, it's fun to see these kind of moves.
Ja, kyllä mä otan, jos mä hitän runnan jonkun ja...
There's an almost smile.
Yeah, yeah. Kenneth races to 60. And Janne will for sure tag along. The question is just if he's making the 3-bet. I would think so. No, he's just calling.
Good for him, he did, because look what Yuso has. Another pocket pair, but this is a big one with the ladies.
Yeah.
And he certainly will be 3-betting.
Yeah, up to 300, so...
Just 200, it says.
Ah, interesting. That's kind of tricky. Small bet when you have two other players in the pot and you're off position doing this from small blind, so...
It is 300, though. There's a... I can see based on the chips,
Yeah,
there were
yeah.
2 blacks and 4 blues tossed out.
Yeah, that's more normal in this position. And when Kenneth calls, Janne will call as well, right? So we have 3 players in the pot.
So the chip counts are going to be a little bit off after this hand.
And Janne hits top pair, but this is great news for Jusso with over pair, and Kenneth with only backdoor straight draw will have problems to tag along. Jusso and Janne will still be interested in this pot.
It looked like Yuso was trying to get a look at everybody's chip stacks. And it's actually 925 in the pot. So what do you think the bet sizing will be from Yuso here?
I think actually we'll bet for...
Jams it! Wow, what's going on here? Wow, 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 wow.
From calling with the low pairs to move all in with the queens. This is actually quite interesting. Of course, he's protecting himself versus the straight draws and flush draws in this way. So
Putting max pressure on Janne, though.
yeah, who have actually have a decision here. It's very tricky to call in this position for Janne.
But it's equally hard to fold to your top pair in this spot.
I'm trying to get some information now, chatting with Jusso.
Especially when you don't have any clubs in your hand. An ace-queen of clubs or a king-queen of clubs would likely... Well, still, I don't know what's shoving here, but would at least be betting.
Yeah, but you might also think that Jusso sits with a straight draw, maybe king, or ace 9 or whatever in clubs or something like that. So it's, I guess it's tempted. Interesting.
Trying to get him to open up and chat a little bit.
Sorry about that.
Wow, gets out of the way. Well done. And Yuso up to around 4.8k. Janne down to 2k. Perhaps we'll get those stacks updated when the players take a short break, I'm sure, at some point during this stream. 100 euros isn't going to make that much a difference in the analysis, considering it is 10.25. It's just 4 big blinds different.
Yes. So actually I could see a little bit of a smile on Jusso's face after that pot.
Should have bought him for more. When you're up, you're up. In Dublin we played again.
See what Kenneth comes in with. So it's a raise from Kenneth with the 60. Oh, he...
Hello, Cowboys.
Next time from the waiting list came in. Only Finnish guys struck. And then you can go to the back of the...
Jaakko in position with ace 7. Gets out of the way, and Jusso, of course, with a pair. Still no set for Jusso, right?
Still no set, but this is going to be a little bit tricky for Igor's this time. But kind of slow playing his kings. That's very strange. There's 2 diamonds on the board. The Jack 10 you want to stay away from. You're blocking that a little bit with the king. You would think you want to get a little bit more in the pot. Perhaps he wants someone else to take a stab at it, but there's a lot of cards that are going to scare you on the turn. This is not one of them. But the strategy does pay off. He does get Igor's to bet his top pair.
Question now if he comes over the top, which he should, because you have the Jack tens, you have the... Oh, he's actually only calling with the kings. It's calling with the kings, so you want to see a brick now, Kenneth. It's a 4, and that should be quite good for Kenneth in this position still. But also Igor's might think that his queens are good at this moment, so we might see some fireworks here. Maybe he puts Kenneth on the 10s or jacks, 8s, Jack 10. Igor's with 2,600 in the stack. Equal size is on the stacks. Question is, what will the bet be? Look like.
Kenneth actually has a little bit less from the
The bet is
stand.
850, and we will see insta call from Kenneth. Oversizing.
Interesting. The oversized actually probably worked out for him because
Yeah,
if it's smaller, he's going to get raised most likely.
Yeah. It was quite good because it could also be seen as a bluff, of course. So he might have been called by the jacks or tens at this stage. So well done. Didn't work for Igor's this time.
I'm learning during this game that there should be an art to the overbet. It's not something I employ very often into my game at all. Possibly because I'm playing a lot of pot limit cash games when I'm playing cash games, but in tournaments I'm not really using the overbet often enough unless it's a jam overbet.
Yeah. No, but this is kind of pretty standard, both on turn and on the river, but mostly on turn. And Janne picks up queens here, 2,100 in this stack. We do the standard now, 60. It started with 75. And Janne is calling 60 right now. He's 3-betting with the king 10 of diamonds.
And we know Yanni is not going anywhere with the queens, but is he going to 4-bet or is he just going to call?
Out of position, I actually like the call here.
But he is going to 4-bet to 600.
Yeah.
It looked like Yanni was about to toss some chips in, but thought better of it.
Yeah, with 2K in his stack as well in this race, it's kind of tricky, but of course you don't want to give away chips because then they will start to peck on you.
Clickback siihen. Tuodaan mulle merkkiä. Let's have that lisää.
For those of you just tuning in, this is Jason Glatzer alongside Krister Larson, and we are commentating a 10-25 cash game. We're taking a little bit of break from the tournament streams, but starting tomorrow will be day 3 of the main event on lights and camera, followed by the grand finale of the main event, where one player will go home with a gold ring, a $5,000 trip to the WSOP Paradise in December, along with, last but certainly not least, a €200,200 top prize.
Yeah, which is the biggest top prize for any Olibet events we have held here in Tallinn. And now we can see that Tukku has a pair of sixes, and Kenneth 3 bets to 200, so I guess Tuck will come along. He's been folding quite a lot, but let's see what happens here now. 997. It's a good flop for Tukko. No high cards.
Well, we could interpret this as a good flop for him too. Well, now you can certainly do it with the turn.
Definitely. So I guess we'll see check again from Tukko, and let's see what Kenneth is doing now. He's been a little bit not oversizing. Oh my God, that was not a great decision from Kenneth's side to check the queen, and now Tukko, who would most likely possibly would have folded the turn. Now he got the boat. So Kenneth will be in big problems.
And based on how we saw Tycho playing thus far, he would have folded the turn, but I've seen him with some tricky plays over the years.
Yeah, you never know really with this guy, because but now it's okay, he's over.
That looks like a big one.
Yeah.
3x the pot with a 1.1k bet. This is really putting him in a tough spot.
Very, very hard for Kenneth to fold his hand now with top pair, top kicker, but he has...
Wow, what awareness there.
Yeah.
Maybe Tycho getting a little bit greedy there.
No, but I kind of like the bet. If, he knew that he had ace-queen, I think, yeah, of course.
But it's hard to know that, being that the turn was checked back. Maybe he was hoping he was still playing a 9 that he had to call.
Possibly, yeah. But maybe he's been playing with Kenneth before as well, and yeah, you could, make this oversized bet. You can also go with the small bet to see if Kenneth goes over the top. Juuso with 10-8, not a pair this time. Niako also with the suited hearts from the big blind, and he will protect his hand.
Well, not the worst flop for 10-8. Popping top pair on the 10-3, 9 flop, 2 diamonds. No hearts to be seen anywhere. So with nearly a pot-sized bet of 100.
Yeah, I guess Jaka will walk away from this one. And looking at Jussi, you can think that it was like 5 a.m. in the morning.
It's 5 a.m. somewhere in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Living the ping pong life.
Yeah. Se oli hyvä siellä aamulla, mutta niin siellähän ei saa käyttää
If you're curious about what's happening in the tournament action, I recommend you going to 3 different places. Now, if you go to alibetevents.com, you'll have the tournament schedule, you'll have a complete array of news articles, information about the stream, player's guide, everything like that. And if you head to the Alibet social media channels, Alibet Poker, you will see a lot of the photos, some of the stories. Rusne and Andreas are doing a fantastic job alongside Lena Olofsson. And of course, over at Poker Pro, where the reporting is, you can check out what's happening on the main event. Christopher Carlin, who will be joining the commentating booth after I leave and when the main event is bagged and tagged, has moved on from a general style reporting, because now we're on day 2 of the main event and is covering the main event in detail until a winner is crowned on Sunday. But there's lots of information out there now. Poker News is out here too, writing some daily articles. Shout out to Elliot. He's doing a fantastic job as well.
Oh, for sure. See some action here with the ace-queen versus ace-queen. We saw fold for the 9s as well. And
there's one ace-queen looking a little better than the other, but we have a backdoor flush draw against a real flush draw.
Yeah, and a big pot. So I guess both are interested in this because it looks really dry from the side, so the aggressor should have a good advantage, but in this spot
Just
Jaakko
jams
is
the lot.
Mhm.
Realizing all the equity right here, right now. I suppose that's not the worst play. I would have bet a bit smaller, such as 4 or 500, but there's a reason why I'm in the commentating booth and the players are playing at the table. Do you like the bet? Do you like the shove there?
For me, it's always when in doubt, go all in. You cannot make you cannot make any more mistakes. No, but I kind of I would also most likely, but it's very tricky. If you make a small bet, you have 2.7 in the hand. There's 1.4 in the pot. So should you bet 800 and fold? You know, in this way, at least you are in the pot with the chips, and if the other guy have an overpair, you still have 2 overcards and the flush draw, so you're in a good spot. So, but you can also push an overpair away from that pot potentially, and also if the guy has also have 2 clubs, he will tag along and you will sit in a really good position. So I don't think that I would do it. I see it as a very conservative bet in that way.
Yeah, I can understand that thinking, that it's a conservative bet because I look at it more that you don't really want to know how to play on the turn and river. You just want to get it done here and now.
And the pot is big, so I don't blame him. But it's for sure, maybe it's good for the overall EV long term to do it in this way. But short term, I would prefer a smaller bet and play the hand differently.
And it's hard to have, let's say, a lot of bluffs. It would be these semi-bluff hands, these overpairs doing it. So it's sort of announcing at least one of those 2 things to your opponent as well.
Yeah, but by doing this, you put the opponent in a tricky spot. If he has an overpair to the 8-7, if they have a pair of 10s in his hand, pair of jacks in his hand, you put him in a little bit of tricky situation. Possibly he folds this hand with if he doesn't have a club with it as well as a backdoor. So no, I accept that you can make that bet. Definitely.
So 3 spades on the flop, 2, 3, 4, 4. With 3 spades on the turn, and Janne still ahead, but also has a flush draw in case he doesn't think he is.
Flush and gut shot. Straight draw.
I won't be surprised if Janne bets here, but he does check it back.
And he hits the flush in the end. I don't think that we will see lots of chip coming in here. If Jaakko is not tempted to make a stab at it. And he does. Snap call. With a 10. Picks up a decent pot. Not really any really big clashes yet in this cash game.
It seems like players are still feeling each other out at the moment. At least we've gone beyond that we're seeing flops and turns and occasionally rivers.
But what happened now the last half hour is at least that we see the calls and the calls on the 3 bets and a little bit more action. But still the big clashes post-flop is to be seen now. Jaakko 3 bets to 210. And I guess Kenneth will call with this hand. He's been playing quite conservative, Kenneth. Nothing much. A really dry board for Jaakko.
He is reaching for chips, though.
Yeah, looks like a 250 bet.
Trying to say I have that overpair. And
Yeah.
Kenneth buys a story. Kenneth was behind anyway. Can't really do much with a backdoor flush draw with this kind of texture on the board. Facing a decent sized bet. I see we have some Ollie boost in front of us. I've tried now, like I'm not a big fan of, let's say, heavily sugary drinks. I even have my coffee without sugar, but this sugar-free Ollie boost is quite good, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's widely used out here in the poker rooms. Energy drinks, and Ollie Boost is looks like it's the favorite.
For me, it's the green can, but for many, it would be the original version, the
Yeah.
red can.
Yeah, the green can I think is fairly new and asked for to have a zero sugar version.
I don't know.
Oh, showing the 5-6.
I did. Whoa, really? I really did.
You're doing big balls today. Big balls today.
A little bit of banter now.
I usually only play ace king.
And a little bit of a dealer switch. And while that's going on, I want to give a shout out to all the dealers, the floor staff, the tournament director, Teresa Nuzianen and Olivier doing a fantastic job from top to bottom, the people cleaning up after the messy poker players. And of course, my co-pilot this evening, and Christer Larson. All that planning that you and Teresa did, we're seeing it in play now. So thank you very much for bringing such fantastic poker over here to Estonia, event after event. And I think you guys have really outdone yourselves this time around with the third version of the World Series of Poker Circuit.
Yeah, it's a pleasure actually, and with a strong team and also players coming back to the events here in Tallinn year after year, independently if it's Kings of Tallinn or if it's a World Series of Poker Circuit event, it's great. But of course, it's not about myself or Therese, it's about a very big team work with 150 dealers, so many supervisors and floor persons. You have dealer coordinators, you have ship room employees just counting chips in and out of the room, because there's normally 5-6 tournaments going on at the same time. So, but this is a well-oiled machine, and it works out, and players are generally happy about at least the operational parts of these events, and of course not always happy due to bad beats and stuff like that. But when it comes to the operational parts, we are really, working hard to get the dealers over to Tallinn, because the level of skills for dealers and floors have a big impact on if players want to come back or not. Both you and I have been to places where the quality of the staffing might not always be 100%, and of course that's not the best part of an event. But happy to see all of the staff here.
And many of the good dealers want to come here because it's a unique opportunity for them to be able to deal games that are different than Hold'em. You don't see a lot of mixed games throughout Europe, but here you see just about every kind of game you can imagine. The dealers also like learning new games, but for the most part, if you're coming here, you have learned all those games and you want to be dealing those games.
Yeah, it's quite fun. We have 8 games, User 7 horse games, and of course now the ring event, first ever ring event Sweden, special here in Tallinn. But open face Chinese, we do from time to time the Finnish soccer stud games, and so on. So
There was a pot limit deuce to 7 triple draw last night as well, so
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic. I had a breakfast with some of the French and Spanish dealers today, and I see many of them dealing now, and the ones that had big smiles on their faces were saying, I'm going to get to deal Sviten, I don't get to deal that back home. And yeah, it's actually exciting for them as well.
Of course. Yeah, it's great fun. So, but we also had yesterday we had this 750 progressive mystery bounty tournament, a mix of progressive bounty and mystery bounty, with 1/3 of the prize pot to the mystery bounty, 1/3 to the progressive, and 1/3 to the regular prize pool. And I think it was like not too far away from 200 entries in that tournament. And as I understand it from the player feedback, they really liked it. And we are trying always to kind of invent or reinvent games and make some fun new stuff here in Tallinn. So yeah, we don't want to get bored, right?
No, no.
So
We have our first straddle.
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
Yanni is losing it.
Jan is losing it. Yeah. At least he picks up a decent hand to protect from the straddle.
And I have to say some of the other new additions are nice. Now the food truck's not new, but certainly the offerings in the food truck have made more robust. There's a nice seating area outside, which has been quite nice as well. The weather has been fantastic, so players are going on breaks, grabbing something from the food truck and hanging out for 10 minutes, chatting, seeing how everybody's doing, and then right back into their seats.
Now we see both players hitting top pair here, so I guess Jan is pretty happy with his straddle, but he's in quite bad shape here versus Igor's ace with the kicker problems.
Yeah, depending on what happens here, I think he's going to be a little bit disappointed he straddled after the hand, but he can't really go anywhere at the moment. It is a big bet. That would be the only thing that can get him out of the way, but it is a top pair.
And the spade might save him a little bit, but yeah, Jan is not in a great spot now. But also Igor's might hit the brakes a little bit with the spade coming in, or the deuce, because Jan is betting. Is it 500? No, 300. Okay, he's trying to put a little bit on the brakes on Igor's here, so a little bit of a stop bet. If you can call 300 euros a stop.
It's kind of like a stop value bet. Like we can see it's not for value, but it's also making it when it's a bet like that on the turn, it always screams, "Please raise me."
Yeah, it makes life a little bit harder for Igor's because it's hard for him to step away from this. Can he find a fold with the top pair with an ace kicker? I can't believe that. But on the other hand, from a straddle, he could actually sit with the deuce on his hand, or even 3-4 in spades, whatever. So not an easy decision for Igor. I don't think that he actually thinks about folding, but I think that maybe he's not, maybe I should stay away from the big race here. Will we see a crying call? He doesn't know, but he's in really good spot, Igor's.
It's really hard to raise on this board, though. I think it's going to be a call, but it's fine if he's taking his time, thinking things through.
Yeah, I would also expect a call here. I wouldn't be super surprised if a fold comes in, but 300 euro bet into a pot of 900, it's hard to lay down the top pair.
Oh my, he gets the fold, so Yanni, thinking he's likely value betting. Is he going to show the 8? He wanted to show something, I think. He shows the king instead.
Oh.
And that won't tilt Igor's, but if he showed the 8, it probably would have tilted Igor's.
No, but I think it's the kind of the same, because the king, for sure, he doesn't have another king in his hand when he straddles. So basically, I don't think he is steaming over this, but he knows that he made the wrong decision.
He's coming. Let's not take the card.
7 is 16, 9 plus 1 plus 2
Well, I would like to say that we have a new guest coming in, but it isn't quite a guest. It's more like we have our co-host coming in here, and Andreas Höglund, who has been doing a fantastic job all week long. He was here from the beginning to the end of that Marathon 5000 tournament alongside George Sanford. But I think this is goodbye, Krister. So I want to thank you for taking the time to join us. I know how busy you are being the head of poker here for Alibet throughout the region. So thank you for taking time out of your busy Friday evening, and hopefully we get to do this again sometime soon.
Definitely. It's always a pleasure to sit with you, Jason. I can always learn something, right?
I think in this case it was me learning from you. It's the 1025 stakes isn't necessarily something I dabble in, two-card affair. If we bring 4 or 5 cards, mix it up a little bit, then we have a different story there.
Okay, have fun. And see you later on, guys. Thanks.
Thanks again, Krister. That was Krister Larson. Absolute beast both on and off the poker tables. And in comes Andreas, a.k.a. Wise Guy. So welcome, Wise Guy.
Hello, sir, and hello, viewers. How are you all?
Well, the viewers aren't going to be able to respond
They
to you,
are,
but-
because they go to the YouTube chats and we can see how they're doing, actually.
Oh, okay. I've been
So-
ignoring the YouTube chat. Now I feel like I've been...
But that's because
a
I
little
forgot
bit
to
sad.
tell you about it when you came in, so it's all on me. But if you want to connect with Jason and me in the studio, you can go to the Alibet Poker on YouTube, where this is streamed, and the chat will be open.
That's a new feature, because I'm pretty sure the last few festivals that has been closed down. So that's quite interesting that I didn't know about that. So I learned something not only from Krister Larson, but now from Wise Guy as well.
We evolve all the time, or what should we say? So, Jason, tell me about the first hour or so of this 1025 game.
Well, it started off with players more or less feeling each other out. You know, there were even like some situations, many situations where we've seen 3-bet folds, but now it seems like the players are a little bit more comfortable. They felt each other out. We're seeing a lot more action post-flop. And really no all-ins yet, but that will be coming, I'm pretty sure, over the next hour or two.
Yes, and we have 700, right? 7 max, and I know they all bought in between 2.5 and 3.5 something, but do we have any reloads?
We have
done?
0 reloads, but
All
it's
right.
been mostly 6 max because one player seemingly left the table about half an hour ago and maybe came back, but now we see that seat number 8 is empty as well. As it is a cash game, you do need to pace yourself, but it is possible these guys were playing cash games throughout the day. I learned about the TV table and said, sign me up. Who doesn't want to be on a TV table?
Who doesn't, right? Yeah. So you probably touched on it already with Krister, but do you know any of these players since before?
Mostly just Toiko. I mean, I recognize a few of the other guys down in the cash game pits. I don't recognize them so much playing tournaments. Toiko, though, is just a beast no matter what he touches, whether it's mixed games, PLO, Hold'em that we see now, tournaments mostly that we see because normally he's grinding that leaderboard alongside some of his buddies in Finland.
He is, okay.
But he's definitely ever present as the games get bigger and bigger in the cash game arena as well. He's not a player I like facing off against when I see him in a tournament. I've never played cash games with any of these players, but as we know, I do not play 2-card cash games. If it's cash games, it has to be at least 4 cards for me to be at the table.
To stay awake, right?
It's a different story. I just get too impatient, you know. It's sort of like, you know, I like the mind moving all the time. And then as you move up stakes, unless you're heavily studying GTO, you know, it could be in dicey spots. And then as you move up beyond this stake, like I consider this to be one of the tougher stakes, the 1025, because once you get to the 2550, you can usually find some tables actually throughout Europe that have some soft spots throughout the table. But in the 1025, even the like one step lower to the 510, those are the two, I think, areas where me as mostly a mixed cash game player and, you know, tournaments that can really be any format at all, and I'll be happy to play it. I play mostly Hold'em tournaments just because that's what you see mostly around the world. But when I come to a place like Olympic Park Casino, when there's mixed game tournaments on tap, I try to focus mostly on those because you never know when you're going to be able to play the next one until you return back to Tallinn.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there are a lot of mixed games throughout the week, of course, in tournaments we have here, and it's been a heavy turnout. A lot of people all over the casino. Right now there's among other things, a 200 bounty being played, and all the tables are filled up here on the second floor of Hilton. The ballroom consists mostly of the main event day 2 players, but all the way out in the corridors there are tables everywhere and players everywhere. And of course also the Sviten is ongoing, first ever ring event. 103 entrants and counting. I think there's about an hour left of the late rig in.
You're saying I could still play that in theory because I passed to play that. I was looking forward to playing that, and then I heard, hey, Jason, you want to do some cash game comms? And I said, of course I want to do some cash game comms. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I want to dip my toes everywhere.
Yeah, so I could dip my toes in here and then immediately forget about 2 cards and go to 5 cards where we're changing cards.
Yeah.
That's the exact opposite of Hold'em, in fact.
In fact, it is, yeah. No, still, it's actually still ongoing, and I just walked by that room coming here now and mocked Frankie for the number of bullets he's done. So he was sad happy about that. Laughing, of course.
The most bullets so far in the event?
I think he definitely is, yes. Can you take a guess how many?
I mean, if you're saying he's in for a lot of bullets and he's laughing, crying, it's not going to be just 2 bullets. So I'm going to guess it's 5, but that's a bit obscene if it is 5.
You have won something alcohol-free, because you are correct. Maybe this flop for Jaakko now then.
Oh, yeah. But Toiko seems to be aware of his situations quite often. This is a flop that he should be betting when you open from the button. Jaakko, I think, will be raising here. He is thinking about...
Yeah, grabbing the 100 chips. 110.
A little cheeky raise there.
Yeah. And Toiko is out immediately.
So well played by Jaakko. He wants to realize his equity right now.
Yeah.
If he's facing an ace, he's going to find out pretty quickly about that as well. If he is raised, he's going to be happy to re-raise most likely with a ton of equity. And even a hand like ace-king is going to have to think twice, you know, from the big blinds range about all the 2 pairs that there could be. Could even have a deuce-4 suited, which would be a little bit rare, but possible for the straight. And of course, if it's a flush draw that connected with the board, you're flipping against that with your ace.
Yeah.
And Juuso is back at the table, and he wasn't full of smiles at all, even though he was getting pocket pair after pocket pair, but it looks like maybe he had a pep talk maybe with somebody, because now he's all smiles and enjoying the banter with the rest of the table. This is what we like to see. Maybe he heard that we were saying, smile a little bit more, you're on the TV table, have a little bit of fun.
To remind them, huh?
If you're going on a TV table, yes, you want to make money, of course. You want to win pots against your family and friends, but you also want to enjoy the experience, win or lose. I've definitely been on my share on the other end of these tables for cash games over the years. It's a little bit in Hold'em. It's the one time I'll play Hold'em if it's on a TV table. I can stay focused on Hold'em for a couple hours at a time. Beyond that, then I become the biggest fish at the table. But whenever I'm invited to an Omaha stream, if I'm not busy, you can count me in, as long as the stakes aren't ridiculous. I would have to think twice about playing a 10-25 Omaha cash game on stream, but if it's a little bit lower, I would have not had to think at all. My favorite stake for actually Omaha is 5-5, because that out often plays bigger than, let's say, even a 10-25 game.
Yeah, 5-5 is often straddled a lot, of course, yeah. As well.
And meanwhile, we have Yanni with the 60 open, Yako with the dominating queens with the 3-bet. Yanni quickly out of the way, and Yako picking up some free chips there.
Miksei mulla voisi olla joskus hyvä käsi? Mä en ymmärrä oikeesti. Toi pitää paikkaa.
Mä en vaan tiedä, luottaisiko enemmän suhun vaan noin striimin grafiikkoihin. Se on niinku aika siinä ja siinä.
I didn't think I would make it in time, actually, Andreas, to play this Hilton. Maybe
think
I still won't play it
good.
because I'm not sure I want to max
actually-
late enter that one, but maybe I will.
Yeah, they actually had a 1-hour dinner break, so somewhat unexpected, but that's why it's still open late break.
Well, that works for me. I'm glad
Yeah.
they went on a dinner break.
Maybe you had something to do with that, inserting that in the schedule.
Yeah, once I found out I was doing commentating.
All right, so guys, now I've just opened the stream as well on the Olibet YouTube, so we can see what questions we have and who's still in the main event from Latvia. Well, if you go to olibetevents.com, you will find a live reporting by our very own Christopher Carlin, who's doing that for poker.pro, and it's leached to olibetevents.com. So there you have all the information about the names that are still in. I think you'll find a full ship count and the names and countries. So that should be the best way to find out how many Latvians still in, because there are a few.
I'm going to take a peek over, though. We were neglecting the viewer chat, actually, which I apologize for. But let's take a peek. Let's take a peek.
Yeah, sure.
Because this hand seems like it'll be over fairly quickly.
Seems so, yes.
The 6-5, though, winning against the Ace-4, so good
What I do know
awareness there.
about the main event is that they are playing the last level of the day, and there was about 95 entrants left when I came in here a few moments ago. So they will bag and tag for day 2 in maybe 30 minutes or so, and come back tomorrow. So about maybe around 80 players then will remain to day 3 tomorrow.
And it's Ritvar Sekulins, who I think is leading the Latvians anyway, with 590,000 chips at the last update, which was likely during the last break.
Yeah,
I believe he was in the 5K as well, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah, he was, absolutely. He was second in the 5K.
And then we have Kristaps Dexness as well with a decent stack.
All right.
Elder Sadi Zaid, who I played with over in Riga very recently, very good player.
And
Robert's Roomba, okay, another familiar name. And Kasper's Butans, who doesn't know him? Kasper's, I believe, has won a Kings of Tallinn, actually.
yeah.
Very nice guy. Stays a little bit private, but super nice guy. And Yevgeny's Ratner's still in. Gint's Ozol's still in, and just 85 players left. Christers Mullins, who is also from Latvia, was the last player to hit the rail in 86th place for 2,950 euros. But we covered all the Latvians still in play.
Yeah. And I also had a little riddle for you from the main event, because I actually witnessed the largest pot of the tournament just half an hour ago. And I'm going to read it out for you how it played out, and then I'll let you guess the hands. You up for that, Jason?
We can do a riddle.
And it was between Michelle from Sweden. Don't remember the last name now.
Michelle Karim, most
Yes,
likely.
yes,
One of the
absolutely.
top 2 on the Swedish GPI, actually.
Top 3, yeah.
Top 3 now, okay, so we dropped the
Blom
spot.
is first, Munir second, and Michelle third.
Okay.
And he was in the button position. Steven Groom opened, early position. 3-bet from Michelle from the button, 4-bet from Stephen Groom, and then call from Michelle. Flop is Ace Jack 5,
Okay.
and Stephen bets like 1/4 pot, and Michelle just calls. Turn, deuce or a three, something that did not connect with the board in any way. There was a rainbow flop. And then Steven goes 360 into 400,000.
So massive pot.
Yeah, sorry, no, on the turn it was, sorry, the bet was 180 into 360, sorry, on the turn. And call again from Michelle. And then on the river, Steven goes all in for 400 plus. And after tanking, Michelle calls.
Interesting. And now Steven I've known for a while as a cash game player back in the day, but I've seen him play a bunch more tournaments. Michelle is primarily a tournament player with tons of experience and good reads.
I should say that there were no draws on the turn either, and then no flushes completed on the river, nothing at all. So dry board, ace jack, like 8-4-2 maybe, but no flush draws and no straight draws on the turn either, except the jack 8, of course, but didn't get there. So, but all in and call, and the pot was for 1.6 million with an average of 430,000.
I'm guessing that Michelle at least had an ace, but it could be a set over set sort of situation. I mean, it's really difficult. In the scoop event that I won recently, I was in a weird spot as well where I was just forced to call off with ace king with a similar kind of board situation, and it was the correct call actually.
So this actually was quite a setup, as Stephen Groom had aces, flopped the top
That's
sets.
what I would have guessed about Steven, but then I'm trying to guess what aces left there for Michelle, so I'm guessing he must have had another set as well.
He didn't, he had ace queen.
Ace queen, okay.
So I just didn't believe Groom, blocking an ace of course, but yeah, still.
It's really hard to get away from.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Steven could be a little bit tricky. I'm not sure what his playing style is these days, but when you're facing off a guy that has a lot of experience playing cash games, it could be a little bit tricky in trying to range them. They typically have a bit more bluffs than tournament players do, but Steven is more or less a tournament player now.
Look at these now, guys, on the table, cash game table, kings versus 4-3 on a 3-betted pot. 485 already in the middle, but just nothing for Jack on this one except backdoors. And of course, top set for Juuso. See how he decides to play this one. Goes with a 1/3 bet.
Now the stacks might be slightly off, by the way, because we've seen one or two instances where the bet sizings were not right on the board compared to what we saw with the chips. This is not one of those situations. Oh my.
Oh wow.
Reaching,
this is
reaching.
not the right spot to get tricky, but he does come for a race here now until, is it 400?
And straight face
450.
Juuso.
Wow. Dream spot for Juuso, of course, and they are deep as well, as you can see. Almost 4K behind starting, or more than 4K starting the hand, both of them.
I love the call here despite the scariness of the clubs.
So, building. Is it the biggest pot of the day, Jason, or did you have anyone?
It might become the biggest pot of the day.
Yeah.
We've had something around this. It really depends on what Jaakko decides to do here as he can continue along with this story. It looks like he's giving up.
Yeah.
And Juuso might think that check back meant it was like a sneaky Jack 10 of clubs type of hand that he should be afraid of, but I don't think he should be really afraid of too many Jack 10s. But the board has become one that he kind of does need to protect his top set. And reaching for a bunch. And a snap fold here by Jaakko.
Jaakko gives up.
A swing and a miss.
For a low heart, at least on the turn, to get something going, but no, nothing. But still, nice pot. 1,400 euros. Yeah, so with that, Stephen Groom was the overall chip leader at least 45 minutes ago or so in the main event with 1.65 50, I think he had after that big pot that we just discussed.
He
And,
was a chip millionaire on the break already.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Then he went down a bit, and then he won this one. So yeah, he's really having a great day so far by the main event tables. And as you probably might have heard, Juha Helppi is one of the bigger stacks in the main event as well. And some other notable names. We can see if we can find some more information about the main event right now for you.
I do like Juha a lot. I do spend a bit of time with Juha, and I spoke to Juha during one of the breaks. He was asking some questions. I told him about the TV table that was going on tonight, and he said, sign me up, and then he said, wait a minute, I have a bunch of chips still in the main event. I hope that I'm still playing. But then he asked how long the stream is going, so don't be surprised after they bag chips that maybe we see Juha sneak over to the table if he's not too exhausted from a nice long day 2.
He's more than welcome, of course. And
Quite the legend.
yeah,
2-time WSOP bracelet winner, nearly 10 million in cashes, but often seen playing some of the highest stakes around in cash games, especially here in Tallinn.
I can see that the latest chip count is from the break a couple of hours ago, but as we said, they will bag
Andy
and
King.
tag.
I have a nice story about Andy King.
They will bag and tag in just 20 minutes or so, so we'll give you the updated chip count when the day 2 is concluded.
Bahadur also in the top 3. Bahadur he used to be, and he won't mind that I'm saying this, one of the biggest fish I've ever met. But then he, he began to take poker a little bit seriously. He got some lessons from another, let's say, Turkish pro that you could probably figure out who it is, but I'm not sure he wants me to give that full information away. And has become quite a force.
Yeah.
But Andy King actually he either won or took second in the very first poker event I ever live reported.
Okay.
And and as I was learning, he trolled me actually with a hand, which is why I remember. And then afterwards, after he won or took second, he came over. So Jason, I trolled you a little bit. It wasn't aces versus kings. Come over and have a few drinks with me. It was a long week for you. And quite a nice guy, quite a funny guy, Andrew King from Ireland. I'll have to pop by him because this is going back many years, and I haven't seen him since to see if he remembers the story as well.
Yeah.
But he's in second place at the moment.
And they are right now 79 players remaining, which means there was just a pay jump. The current payout in the main event is 3,050 euros. And up top, 200,200 euros. And the package to Bahamas, of course.
Record-breaking prize for an Ollie Bet event.
Yeah, and we will be live streaming tomorrow. We'll first have, I think, the Bounty Tournament final day. And then later on tomorrow afternoon, there will be the day 3 of the main event, and on Sunday the final day is streamed all the way to the end, the big main event.
I didn't know that the mystery bounty was popping on.
It is.
I thought it was going to hop straight into the main event.
No, we're doing the bounty, the mystery bounty first. So there will be envelopes flying from, I think, 12:30 local time tomorrow. The stream will start.
And I assume the envelopes are going to be pulled on the stream as well.
Absolutely, they will be.
Wow, that's quite exciting.
And I'm hearing that the time for tomorrow is 1:30 preliminary for the mystery bounty. So 1:30 local time tomorrow we'll have the mystery bounty live for you.
Is late registration still open in that? Because I'm watching so much
might be.
2-card. Maybe I say, no speeding. Let's hop in this 1100
yeah, it
mystery
absolutely
bounty.
is, because it's until midnight.
Uh-huh.
So you have plenty of time to enter the 1100 mystery bounty. And then you can be
I
on
can
stream
fire
tomorrow.
5 bullets like
Maybe you
Frankie in
can-
it.
Yeah. Maybe you can comment from the table tomorrow if you reach the final then. You have a headset on and just...
Glenn
Go
Brown
at
and I
it.
have talked about that before because we're experimenting with a few things and miking up players at the table that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't do it while seeing all cards. That would be a little bit of an advantage for me. But if you're just mic'd up like you are, like right now, none of the players are mic'd up. It's a general mic. It could be quite fun, actually.
And if I look at the schedule, Jason, I think you have 10 minutes plus a little wiggle room to enter the suite then. So you have to make a decision now if you want to leave me and go play that one, actually.
Well, I'm not going to leave you. That would be a
I'm
little
good.
bit rude.
I'm good.
No,
I
that
have
would be rude. I
other
won't-
people coming in, so
But we'll wait for the
I'm
other
still gonna
people.
kick you out in a little bit.
We're gonna play this by ear.
Yeah.
If it happens that I can run and jump in, then the decision will be if I want to play this mystery bounty or not.
Like this 3-bet now, if we get back to the table. 5-4 suited. Nice little sneaky cash game hand. And Tuko, of course, is going to call this one. He doesn't.
No. He hasn't been calling a lot of 3-bets. He's
All
been
right.
giving respect to them,
Okay.
especially early. I've only seen him call 1 3-bet so far. I think he'd rather lose a small pot than make a mistake in a big one.
All right.
It's a lesson to be learned, actually, but then if you're doing that too often, then players will take notice. But in a cash game, they can't really win too much that way. You know, they're just going to win the raise. In a tournament, those big blinds are a lot more important. And when I notice a player just overly folding 3-bets, then you know what? You 3-bet a little bit more, and then a little bit more, until they start playing back at you. They become the target at the table.
Sä striimipöydässä juomassa olutta yhtäkkiä vaan vittu ei Ei. Kaikki arkea niin hairalla. On tämmösiä
Or maybe I'm in the mood for cash games actually now. I haven't played cash games all week, believe it or not, wise guy.
You haven't?
Nope. I've had a lot going on work-wise. I did play the mini-main event, which was fun. Had not a deep run, but still 53rd. It was 3x the buy-in, I'll take it.
That means you're up for the week then.
It does mean I'm up for the week.
The Moolah hasn't snatched the wins for you.
No, the Moolah has snatched my wins, but we're talking about poker.
Okay. Oh, you're dividing things. This is like a relationship back home. No, wifey says we've lost money on this, or we're using too much, but that's different account, right?
No, unless it's 4 figures or higher, it's break even one way or the other with the wife.
Sounds good. And now
shout
then,
out to your
Queen
Gita.
High, and yes.
And Igor, is he going to think anything with his 9 of diamonds? I think just the rest of the board kind of stinks.
Yeah.
But it is a tiny, tiny bet.
They've been there basically too.
Yuso really active when he's actually at the table. As I mentioned, he did take a unscheduled break for a bit.
Yeah.
Did come back in a more smiley, jovial mood. Not that he was being grouchy or anything.
We have a lemon in the chat, sir. I'm not sure who is attacking with that comment though.
A
Is
lemon?
it you or me?
An
this
orange
is-
or a
this is-
lemon?
This is Mr. Lemon Poker.
I mean, being that I think he's talking about you.
I think
They,
so
they
too,
saw
actually.
me before on the camera.
Yeah, because you're talking about your wife as well. So, but he knows I'm not single either, so I have to disappoint you, Lemon. But I'm glad to have you in the chat with us. And well, maybe Lemon, one of these days you might be on this cash game table. He's actually a retired.
He's a Hilton player too,
He
right?
is, and a semi-retired cash game pro as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. I need to spend a little time with Lemon. I do like a bit of what he does. He's a bit of a social media wizard these days, all over the place.
Are you just flattering him?
I am. Yes, of course I am.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
said
he's
he
fantastic.
wants to know if I'm single, so you know, we have to butter him up a little
so
bit.
now you think it's you he's asking. Okay,
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to you, Lemon, as well, as we have a little bit sip of that. There are a lot of apple juices by the table, I can tell, in those glasses.
But the apple juices have been staying sort of at the same steady level, you know, not going in the downward direction anyway. It would be a
No.
little bit strange if it was going in the upward direction. But imagine that, you know, you just leave the beer on the table, or the adult beverage, or the non-adult beverage, I don't know how I'm supposed to phrase this, on the table, and it automatically refills for you. It would put a few people out of work.
Might, yeah.
So let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Not like that, as it says in the chat now. And I have my suspicions about who's commentating that one as well, but I'm not going to give Melvin any shout-outs, you know. So let's head over to the ace-7 of Igor's from the small blind. Taking a little elevator upstairs to 75 now. Nice hand for Kenneth in the big, 9-5. I just felt we had to get back to the table because I'm feeling we talked a lot about things now, but not so much about these guys at the actual table we're supposed to look at. But hey, guys, you know.
You got to give us more action here, guys.
Yes.
But Igor is with the top pair. Kind of just with basically the backdoor flush draw. So we'll see if Igor's bets it, tries to slow play it. I don't see why he wouldn't be betting here, though. And it's a 1/3 pot bet. It's not folded by Kenneth. So now can we talk about lemon again?
No, I don't want to go sour like that.
Oh.
So, with that said, I'm going to grab my little Ollie boost.
You have a sugar-free one. I'm jealous. I really like these sugar-free ones. See, the ones with sugar just don't do it for me.
Yeah.
Probably because, you know, I get too hyper and then I come down. But, you know, the sugar-free ones, there's this no sugar rush and quite good. So if you're going to get an Ollie boost,
Nice
and
little
you're like
plug
me,
here, actually. I
maybe
like
get
the
away
plug.
from the
Are you
red
getting
ones and
paid
the
to
green
say
ones.
this? Are you getting paid
No, I
extra
do like the
bonus?
green ones, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
not an
do. Me
energy.
too.
I'm not an energy drink person. But if you mix it with a little bit of a, you know, something that starts with a V and ends with an A, you know, that works very well too.
Absolutely. But
And not the word you're thinking. And you have a dirty mind, wise guy.
I was
Mine
trying
was
to
only
spell-
a 5-letter
I was
word.
trying to spell whiskey with an A, so I did not succeed. So I have no idea what you're talking about. But if you're watching this and not knowing what a Oli Boost is, it's a energy drink, local one that Olibet is producing. So that is reason enough to get over here, right? Now then,
That and the
back
food
to
truck.
the table. Up. Jason, now let's at least see one hand here now.
I mean,
Jacks.
Yako should defend here.
7-5, one of the most beautiful cash games hand out there. 7-5 suited. Will it get rewarded? The call? Not
No,
really. Bottom
but
pair.
maybe.
But no clubs. Yeah, he has the jack of clubs. So not the best of worlds for Yako. We saw him get tricky with the 4-3 suited. Is he going to try something with this one as well? A lot of clubs on that board. This time, 3 of them. That might be trouble if he tries something this time as well.
It's really not the best spot to be making a move here on this all-club board.
Here we go, into the muck with the 7-5. Shows the jack of clubs from Jani. A lot of Finnish being spoken between the hands. Do we have 4 or 5 Finns on this table?
I think 4. We have a player from Latvia
Yeah.
and a player from Estonia. So maybe that's 5. I'm maybe doing my math incorrectly, but we only have 6 players
6
at the table.
seated, yeah.
We had
You can
7
see
to
actually
start.
that your friend left the table now. He took his chips and went away in seat number 5, sorry. I don't remember his name. but
Toiko,
yeah. Toiko is out.
Not that he lost his chips, but maybe
Nope, he
he's maybe he's going to be entering the mystery bounty and said, you know what, I'll play a little bit and then
Yeah,
hop into the
might be
mystery
the
bounty.
case.
He's definitely a tournament player as well, more known for tournaments.
And there are players in line actually to play this one, so we will have Mr. Toni Ylitervo coming in soon, I think, joining this table in a little while. And now the 3-bet for the jacks, another pair of jacks, and it's Jaakko this time. And that's ace-3 suited, looking pretty good. Kenneth comes along, Kenneth Cook. And for Bright Stealer in the chat, this is live. It's being played. We're on a 30-minute delay though, so the players cannot use the stream as any kind of help. But it's live here now. They are playing in the Hilton and Olympic Casino, I should say, right as we speak. So it's also possible to watch this live if you're here. They are at our TV table that we're using for the streams all these days. And tomorrow there will be tournament play.
Who else is on the list? Because I know Juha approached me earlier that he would play potentially if there was a seat for him after the main event bagged. I mean, at
Yeah.
the time, he wasn't sure how things were going to go.
I
But he
actually
had
did-
a stack.
Yeah, I actually didn't see the names. I just know that Tony is the one coming in. But there were 5 names on the list actually when they started playing.
Nobody put me on the list, I hope.
No, maybe
Okay,
not.
that's good.
You were so
Now let's
occupied
move it to
commenting.
Omaha.
Yeah, they were actually discussing before if they're gonna play round of each or only
Round of each
no
I would do.
limit,
None of
but-
these stakes. So.
And bunny punts again. The min buy-in is 2.5k, and there is no max, so you can sit down with 200k if you want to. But minimum-
$1 million.
dollars. Exactly. So minimum 2.5. And Kenneth now with the race to 60.
And Jussi Matala, Pati Jussi, also expressed interest in playing, but when he learned it was Hold'em, it was a little bit less interesting for him.
I think
He can't do his Pati in that.
Can't live up to his moniker, you mean?
No. But I have
Exactly.
seen him play No Limit Hold'em. I have some funny stories about him being on No Limit Hold'em streams, but I'm not sure if they're appropriate for this audience or not. But if you see me around, I'm more than happy to share those privately. It's not that UC is ashamed of any of it. It's just he didn't do anything wrong, but I don't
just
necessarily want to say
courtesy.
what he was doing. Yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people in the poker circuit is UC Matala, also affectionately known as Pati UC. Because back in the early days, that's what he would do. He would go pot, pot, pot.
Sounds like Frank as well, right?
Yeah, I think it's now, he's the new Pati UC.
Potti Franke. All right, here we go now. King, queen for both of these guys. If Juuso comes along from the small blind. Oops. Action in the background as well. Throwing bottles. Are we at the nightclub or at the poker table? We're at the poker table where Juuso now goes 280 with the king, queen off.
Some of these videos I see coming out of Taiwan, it seems like they're at both at the same time. I'm not sure how it'd focus on poker with everything they have going on in the background there.
Are you sure it was Taiwan and not the No Filter Tour?
Yeah, this was Taiwan. It was the No Filter Tour might be also, but
Here we see some interesting stats now. Pre-flop race percentage. And from 17, Yanni, and the most active then, Kenneth.
I think Juuso is the most active though, because he was away from the table
Oh,
for
yeah.
quite some time,
All right,
and he's
yeah.
seemingly always in the pots.
And this from Estonia then, most active at least from the stats, Kenneth Cook. Nice hand for Janne.
Yeah, it was Yanni, not Juuso actually, that I was talking about.
All right, yeah.
And he's sizing up. I don't know if this is all going in. Nope, he's changing his mind.
200. Oh, this is a nice one as well, of course. But 3-betted. Yeah.
That was Juuso, sorry.
Grabbing chips. Still interested. Would be nice to have a. Oh, we're going up. Or? This
He's
is
going up,
dribbling.
he's going
Oh, look at this. Yellow chips flying in pre-flop. That means that we have a 540 bet.
Maybe got a read here.
Yeah.
It is a quite a big one. You know, nobody's really doubled up yet, so it's 20% of his stack going in right now. It's not a spot where, you know, if you're 5-bet shoved, you will be folding, but it's still a bit risky.
Yeah. Here we go towards the call.
Maybe it's Yanni with the read here, or maybe just wants to play suited ace-10 in position. But either way, we have 1.2k in the pot already.
Here we go. The chat asked for more action, and here we go. They heard you. Oh,
Ace
that's
out
a
of the window.
nice, interesting flop. Look at this, Jason. 2 diamonds for the king, queen. Mid pair and the flush draw, and the top pair, of course, for Janne.
It looks like a small bet unless there was a 500 chip in between. And it is just a bet of 170. It's just inviting Yanni to do something.
Yeah, because with that heavy 3-bet, I mean, so many jacks, 10s in the range. Of course, he's blocking the 10 as well, but could be kings, could be jacks, could be another ace, of course. But this is, of course, a flop that Janne isn't too worried
Look
about.
at that. He set the betting size so he could see a turn cheaply. If he checks it, he's probably going to have to call a bigger bet. So now gets a cheap look at this turn, hoping to improve further. The 7 of clubs is a complete blank for both players. Yanni's still ahead with his ace-10.
Yeah,
against the
interesting now to
Yanni.
see Yanni with the flush draw and the pair of queens. He has 1.8 behind. There's 1.5 in the pot, and he checks this one now. of course, putting Janne on an ace here, but has to call almost any bet here now because he still has the flush draw in the pair. So expecting Janne though to take command over this spot now and go for another yellow. No, he does check behind.
It's
Okay.
because of the SPR, I believe. You know, it's an all-in or nothing.
Yeah.
Yanni just with a pot size bet back a little bit more if the stack sizes are fully accurate, but let's just say it's about a full pot size bet behind. And is Yanni going to try to steal this one away? Nope, he does have showdown value with the queen. Perhaps hoping that if it checks all the way back that he's still good. He'll probably fold to any reasonably sized bet. And I won't be surprised if it's another check back, but maybe he'll try to get some thin value off a queen. The problem is you're not really beating that much at this point that you're going to get called by. But he is going for the max. And Yanni looking very uncomfortable, but I think he's going to throw this away.
Yeah.
It would be different if it was queen king without the diamonds. Then you could potentially put your opponent on a misdraw, but I think either way it would be a fold. But let's see what Yanni does.
Yes, called for. Then he calls.
Oh shit!
So that's why he probably has aces. On the flop, I'm glad to go with aces. Well, not glad, but fine.
Yeah, on the flop he's saying he would have been glad to go with aces
Yeah.
and clarified that, but he would have gotten it in against aces for sure and not been that upset. There was no hand that he would have been upset to really get it in. And is he going to level himself into a call? Now, we don't know how much these two players have played together in the past, but once again, when you're playing at these stakes, the player pools get thinner and thinner, especially at this middling 1025. It is high stakes, but it's not the high stakes. That typically starts at 2550, 5100 and higher. When you start to get the businessmen into the field, this is typically a pro-heavy type of stake.
If he folds and shows a bluff, I probably won't sleep in a week.
He doesn't seemingly want to get rid of his hand. He's trying to walk through, but does eventually make the right decision there. Actually got away pretty cheaply by making that cheap bet on the flop.
I'm not gonna look.
That could have been much worse for Yanni if he was raised there. If he just checked, he would have had to call a bigger bet.
Yeah.
So can't be too upset about that.
And some aggression frequency here now. You agree with this one, Jason?
This looks about right. I mean, Toiko's not in the mix anymore. I'd be curious where he would stand on here. I think he would be kind of in the bottom of that list, maybe kind of where Igor's is.
And now then we have that new player joining, Toni Valtteri Ylitervo. I think he's Toni Ylitervo for us. And he's then seated in seat number 5, where Toko just left some while ago.
I'm curious about the Svetan special now. Let's just take a quick look.
Absolutely, and I think maybe
It's up to 113 entries, so
Wow.
this looks like a record-breaking prize pool for a Svetan event. 53,675 euros.
Yeah, must be right.
Voi olla mitä vaan, mulla on käsi minkä mä foldaan.
But I do not think I will be getting into this one regardless. It would be a 12 big blind punt in Svetan.
And now then we have the updated chip count as we have bagged and tagged day 2 in the main event. We have 78 survivors, a huge chip leader in Karolis Kutkauskas,
Lietuva!
and he has 3.15 millions in chips. Second place is Stephen Groom we talked about,
go Steven.
1.7. And in 5th place, Rasmus Lundström of Finland. He will be joining us here in the booth in just 10 minutes or so, commentating on the cash game. So we'll have to get to hear all about his journey throughout day 2 in the main event,
This
actually.
top 10 is really interesting. Now, Rasmus asked me for a hoodie, which I wish I had for him, but there's no Poker Pro hoodies left. But Andy King in that mix 2 and 4th. He's a, as I said, he was around during my first ever live reporting event. We have Igor Bahela Sr., plays quite unorthodox, but a very scary player to play against. We have Ritvars Sekulins in the top 10, who was runner-up in the 5K. Kestutis Young Vicious, multiple ring winner, had some nice results in Vegas this year, but another unorthodox player, Taro Loria, a very good player. And then the winner of the 5K in 10th place at the moment, David Vinaya. We just saw him at the intro with his ring ceremony. Gunnar Vede, Jonathan's father, Jonathan
Really
and
starting
Oscar's
to
dad.
take the over for the family, right?
Yes,
he had a
yes.
deep run here last year as
the
well.
two kids are basically streaming, or they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
kids now. The kids have kids. And Eric Lindquist as well.
Yeah.
Look at this. All the familiar names left and right in this top 11. You see Matala in the top 20.
Absolutely.
Wow,
A
wow,
lot
wow,
of big
wow.
names. Let's see
Aurelia
if,
Sipavicius,
where
another
do we find
really
Mr.
good
Juha
player.
Helppi then? Did he survive the day 2?
I hope so, but we're not seeing his
It's
name.
not looking like he did, actually.
That would be quite unfortunate. Trella, I see his name in the
Yeah,
mix.
he's out, unfortunately.
He won a trophy last night,
He
Karev.
did.
He won the Pot Limit Deuce 7 Triple Draw Trophy. So those of you like Lemon and Melvin, and maybe you're still in the chat, you can't call him a fish anymore. I mean, you still can, but he won a trophy.
Yeah, most definitely. Did I just miss Helppi?
There's
just now?
Helppi. Helppi took 92nd
Oh,
place
there he
for
is, yeah.
2,850 euro. Kasparis Butans, who was a recent champion of the Kings of Tallinn, also out right at the end of the day.
Of course, Butans is out.
And my really
unfortunately.
good friend went out in 82nd place in Stanislavas Vinasek.
Oh, yeah,
We just
nice
call
guy.
him Felix. You've seen him on Cash Game streams. Last October, he was playing some higher stakes here on the Cash Game streams. Tobias Nipel's still in, his really good friend Vidar. So the two of them are among the short stacks. But you could check out the reports in a few minutes' time. I'm sure Christopher Carlin is working his butt off to get all these chip counts in. James Paris, another really good player, wins everything in Malta. Oh, look at this, Zygmunt in 50th place.
Sahamies is still in 50th place right now in the chip count.
And Jenny is still in as well. I mean,
Jenny
this is like,
Westerlund, yes.
do I just know everybody in this field? Kimo Kirko, it's
And Xiao
Name
Fei
after
Wang,
name.
I think he came 4th in the high roller. He's
yes,
still
he
in.
did. Yes, he did.
So a lot of notable names in this main event still then. And as we said, it's 200K up top. So this will be an interesting weekend. They will come back tomorrow, I think at
But
noon
we need
or
to
1
get to the
o'clock.
action here. There's something brewing here. Look
Yeah.
at this. We
Sorry,
have a
guys.
500 bet by Yanni. It's a more than pot-sized bet by, 15 euros. So basically a pot-sized bet, and forces his opponent to fold that second pair. Yanni didn't need to hit the flush to win that pot.
Nice pop, nevertheless. And yeah, coming back for the chip count for the main event, there are a lot of big names still in. A lot of Swedes, actually. Me as a Swede, happy for that, of course. I think we have about 10 Swedes left in the big main event, so that's nice. And yeah, you will be able to see the full chip count shortly on poker.pro or olibetevents.com, where the live reporting takes place. But already now there are a lot of information about the main event and the other tournaments. But if you want to see the full chip count after day 2, it will be up there shortly as well. But a huge chip leader then, Karolis Kutkauskas, Lithuania, 3.15 millions, almost double second place.
We'll have to reconfirm that it's so big. It may have been like a 315,000. We've been in the booth for quite a while, but let's just assume that's the case.
Yeah.
Meaningfully. Side mode, it happened.
54180.
On se onkin näitä yksi.
Ei voinut kippa.
And here we go. We have Tony 3-betting with the 10s, and Igor is calling here with the queen-jack suited. So it's a coin flip situation going into the flop. And top set with those 10s, just a backdoor flush draw with the queen-jack suited for Igor. So our new player, Tony,
Decent start.
I do like the poker face. You would never think, looking at him right now, that he would have top set.
Comes with a 125 into the 395.
This may keep Igor's just to see a turn. There's a little bit of connectivity there that he may see what happens here, especially if it's a spade, or king of spades would have been the nut card for him. But meanwhile, it is a full house for Tony. Check mark already there. Is he going to check it back, pretend he's weak, hoping that Igor's blasts a turn, or is he going to think that Igor's might have something here that he might want to call with? Problem is, what would
like
that
a
be?
check back here, right?
Yeah, because the jacks, queens, kings, and aces may have like bumped it up more pre-flop. I think that the check back is fine, but I'm not sure Igor's would have bet anyway. I think the outcome is pretty much what it would have been,
Most likely,
even if he checked it back. Is it going to be a surprise who is coming in for me, or is it going to be
I told
already
you
announced?
6 minutes ago.
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
The current 5th place
Oh,
in
Rasmus,
the main event,
yes,
Rasmus
and
Lundström is
he's
coming
going to try to steal my hoodie, maybe, though.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to hide it.
he might be robbed at the same time. So yeah, he's just bagged and tagged. He's eating a meal, and then he's coming to join us in the commentary booth. He was here also during the 5K, and I think maybe also during the latest event the other day. So yeah, he's coming in to give his thoughts on this cash game, of course, but we'll also have a chance to talk to him about his experience at the tables, because I know he likes to talk pots and stuff. So if you like to hear some hand history from today, day 2 in Maine, I'm sure it will be spilled by Rasmus.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was recently where I live, over in Vilnius. We spent a little bit of time together, but we've been kind of bumping into each other quite a lot over the last year and a half.
Ace-7, pumping it to 100 each, even with from Kenneth Cook, home player, and Finnish.
He may be
Juuso.
tempted to hop on this table, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he'll show up.
Yeah.
Hey, come, well, you're supposed to be here with us.
It would make my decision making about whether I'm late entering anything much easier.
Yeah, swing and a miss for both of these guys now, but it's Juuso who bet it, or no? Okay, Kenneth bet it and won the pot. So small one for him. You can see he sits with 2.5, so down a little bit from what he started with. But as we've seen so far, no really major pots. We have a few 1500 2K pots, but no one going broke yet.
We need a player to sit down with $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. So the question in the chat was if there's any max buy-in. I think Bunny Punts, if you're here nearby, come sit down with that 200K.
Why stop at 200K? Make it a cool $250,000 at that point.
I'm humble, you know. Like the 200 is enough. 10-9 suited, nice hand for Igor's. Let's see if we have any takers for the 125 raise. Yanni, maybe?
Yeah, there was a strat. I was trying to figure out why the raise was so high.
Yes, it hasn't been much straddles at all, right?
We had one or two.
All right.
But it's not a regular thing like you would see in an Omaha cash game or even a Hold'em cash game at different stakes. Usually the 10-25, once again, is a kind of that middling, you know, let's play some serious poker stake.
Yeah. And again, both players missing completely, but probably the aggression from Igor's. If check 2 as he is, takes it down with a little almost continuation. You didn't even have to put the money in, just touch it chips, and Yanni is out with the king 9.
I think these couple hours in the comms booth is going to lead me down to the casino floor when I'm done, and I'm going to forget the fact that there's tournaments running, but it won't be 2 card. I'm going to see if there's any Super Dealer's Choice games going. That'll be my first choice. But I think there's a good chance, now that late registration's about to close for Sweden, that we're going to play one of my favorite games. And I love Sweden more as a cash game than a tournament. So if we can get a cash game going tonight, it'll be a lot of fun.
And just wheel in the fishes that come down
No, I'm
busted
going
from
to
the
be.
tournament?
I'm probably going to have to sit with people like Peter Laterra, and I'll be the fish at the table.
No, but he will be at the tournament until late. Of course, he's not busting. So the Sweden is a 2-day event, right? So I'm not sure how long they will play today.
They're playing down to 15% today.
Oh, they are, yeah.
So it's going to go for quite a while.
Yeah. And late reg seems to have closed now, just maybe.
Is Laterra still in? Because that'll dictate whether these cash games are happening. Laterra would help actually start the cash games. Laterra is still in, but not with a lot of chips, actually. Unless they haven't been updated for a while.
Another bullet here. I'm not going to name any names anymore.
Cough, Rick, cough.
Yeah, a lot of notable names still in the Sweden as well, of course.
Now it's being hidden from me, so I can't see how many bullets Frankie's actually fired. Pokeros is still in with a decent enough stack.
Yeah, Frank Visser is in.
Yeah, go
Sheik
Frank. Frank
is
was
in.
on the final table of that 1K PLO the other day with a nice 4th place finish, making us poker journalists all proud throughout the world.
And you can
Dansken is still in.
Yeah, and Jerry Udén is still in. Perry
Oh,
Mason.
really? I haven't seen Perry Mason. I know he's been here, but I haven't ran into him yet.
Yeah.
Sasha's still
I
in.
was a bit interested in coming in the booth as well, actually, Perry Mason, but occupied playing then, and certainly
And Sebastian
seemed to be
Wall.
fine.
He's getting more and more into mixed games lately. He's a very good Hold'em tournament player.
A lot of notable names. And
We have an interesting pot here,
Yeah,
so let's
you go
get
ahead.
back in, because we have basically an open Bayani with King Queen, quite standard. There was a straddle, and then we have Yuso with just a button. I'm in position. You seem kind of weak. I'm gonna 3-bet with to 400 with the Ace 3, and here comes Igor's in the big blind. Now he's not even completing the action, so we don't know what the straddle has yet. But Igor just saying, "Screw it! I'm gonna get all this 2,600 in." Jams in the lot. Now Yanni with the quick fold. Now Yuso is maybe going to do a little bit of Hollywooding, but nope, no Hollywooding from him. And perhaps Igor's could have gotten more money differently, but meanwhile he realized all his equity now, picked up a little bit of profit to add to his stack. It's a little bit less exciting than I thought it could be, but still exciting nonetheless.
Yeah. And looking back at the Sweden game, for you guys interested in other things than poker, I can tell you that we have a multiple-time world champion in bowling.
Bowling?
Anders Linus Öhman is still in there. Plays a lot of poker these days.
Wow.
And he was
interesting.
inducted already in 2004 to the Hall of Fame of the International Bowling Committee. So he
That's
has
a nice little tidbit. So you
Yep.
follow bowling?
I know him well, so
Okay.
I know I don't follow it really, but a little side story could be that we had a poker room in Sweden like some 20 years ago. Just next to the poker room was a bowling alley. So this guy doesn't look like a multi-time champion in bowling. So he was just maybe doing a bit of side hustling, talking to drunk poker players. Do you want to go play around the bowling? We could put a little bet.
Reminds me of my son hustling people at table
you
tennis.
see? Yeah, so that was fun times, and also fun times seeing him play bowling, because that was just fantastic. I know he has many 300 series to his name.
Wow.
And legend in both Swedish and international
That sounds like
bowling.
if you know how to bowl, you should get a strike every time, but you have to have nerves of steel actually to get that
Absolutely, the
300.
mental
Your
game.
hands can start shaking. I've seen some really good bowlers over the years.
Yeah.
Not me. If I break 3 digits, I'm kind of happy. So you can't really hustle me because I have 0 expectations. But I think it looks like Rasmus has arrived. So we'll see what happens this hand. But I already want to thank you guys for having me in the booth. Perhaps I join a little bit during the main event over the next couple of days, depending on the situation. You have
welcome.
a very experienced Hold'em player about to join, who I'm sure is going to give some top-notch analysis, and a friend of mine, and Rasmus Lindstrom, who was battling all day in the main event. He was recently just in Vilnius. We got to spend a little bit of time together. And yes, Rasmus, I'll have to figure out how to get you a hoodie, but you can't steal mine on the way out the door. And look at this. So we do have a hand here. Yako with
well,
not
one
with
of
the check
them
mark
has
yet.
a hand. Unfortunately, just one of them has a hand.
But the other one is the one betting. So, you know, let's see.
Oh, let's see. Wow.
So taking a stab.
And it's even with the Jack of Hearts. I mean, no need to
you just
raise
call
this
here.
one. Yeah, of course you do, right? Just
or you can check raise it and get Yusa's rags out of the way.
Yeah,
but
that's one way
Rasmus
to not
maybe would
anymore.
have been able to explain this raise a little bit better than me because I'm not playing 10-25 Hold'em for a variety of reasons. But here we go. I want to thank you once again, Andreas.
Thank you,
and
Jason
thank you,
Glatzer.
Christer Larsen, for joining me earlier. You're going to be in good hands with Rasmus Lundström.
And Jason, since you are actually doing this, one more, plug the reports from the main event and the other tournaments. Where do people find the best updates?
Yeah, head on over to poker.pro. Christopher Carlin, he's doing a fantastic job. Glenn Brown just left the building, but head on over also to Poker Pro World on Instagram and Facebook. There's some cool content over there. The chip count should be up shortly if they're not already up. Yeah, poker.pro for all your tournament needs here at the 2025 World Series of Poker Circuit Tallinn.
Thank you. Quick little plug from Jason. I was expecting him to talk for 7 minutes when I gave him the chance, but glad he did it. Because now we have Poker Extraordinaire from Finland, Rasmus Lundström, joining me. And Rasmus, we've just been checking some chip counts from the main event. I don't think you're too unhappy with your day?
No, it's been a very good day in many ways. Obviously, the main one being the main event. I have a great stack.
So I saw something about almost even $1 million. Was that the correct one?
Yes, I have 1.05 million.
Yeah, so it was perfectly correct then, the one we got. That is the final one. And puts you on this list we had in 5th place overall, but I think it might be 4th because we're not sure of the enormous chip leader that was here, if it's actually a type error or if someone actually has
It is in fact not.
It is not?
No, he was in the table next to me. You'll see I was marked as table 12. He's marked as table 13. And there was a man who was of questionable intoxication, perhaps, or just generally aggressive spirits, and he came with about $1 million to the already chip leader, and gave it. And they played a massive pot where the chip leader had a bottom pair on. It was something along the line of queen middling card, so queen 7 deuce with a flush draw, and he had a flush draw with the deuce.
All right.
So he had a pair and a flush draw, and this aggressive player came to the table and just check jammed massively with like king 6 suited.
Okay.
Sorry, it was queen 5 deuce and he had king 7 suited.
Oh, okay.
So he took a massive jam, and the guy decided that he's always going to have the equity pretty much, because either he's ahead or he's behind with great redraws.
Yeah.
Called it off, and the pair of deuces ended up being the winning hand.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so it is correct then. Karolis Kutkauskas of Lithuania is our current chip leader after day 2 with 3.15 millions. And as we said then, 5th place, Rasmus Lundström, 1,050,000. So you started the day with how much?
I started the day with 160.
Yeah.
And around the bubble I had 200, and then I played a hand I actually would love to tell you about. We were 2 from the money, and an Estonian who I have a lot of experience from my time when I used to live here with. We used to play cash games 1, 3, 5, 5 and 10, 10 all the time.
Yeah.
He opens from cutoff, and there's a massive stack in the small blind, so he doesn't do this very light, which is relevant information.
Yeah.
I peel a pair in the small blind, a pair of ducks. George would be proud.
Oh, yeah.
And I end up calling because it's a decent price to go set mining, and he'll be bluffing very heavily.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I must have paid someone because my mining works out. The flop is 8-6 deuce rainbow, and it's about as good as it can get.
You were jumping in your share and checked, and yeah.
More or less, I check. He bets small for 20k into 55, and I call. The turn is above average. It's the 4th deuce. I checked to him again, and he bets about half pot for 50k into 95.
Yeah.
And I just call. The river is a 4. It bricks the flush draw that came in on the turn.
Yeah.
And I decide to go for a 1 big blind block bet.
Okay.
To protect hands like 6x, a sticky 6x or 8x from being jammed on. And sure enough, he does jam, and I snap it off when he has ace jack high.
Wow.
And the second I hit just the set, I knew that it was very likely I would get the whole stack against the player because of the history.
Yeah.
He knows I'm sticky, and I know he's aggressive, so we're both trying to like be the first one, last one, like not to blink, pretty much.
Yeah. So he was the second bubble then?
No, he covered me, which is why he
okay.
was able to put the pressure on. He was short, yes, but he did end up making the money, and I busted him just after the money when he had about
you
4 or
took
5
the last
lines.
pieces as well, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So after that pot, you had about 400?
500,
Right.
just under, and because I started the pot with maybe 225 or something like this, and then another big pot a while later. Guy open jams almost 20 big blinds, and I have ace king, hold against ace 4, and then I make top 2 with ace queen in the big blind, which I did not 3-bet because of some table dynamics, which was a very disguised hand, and got paid on my 1.5x overbet on the river. So
Lovely. I'm just going to answer a question from the chat in case you go on Hagard came in after Jason plugged it. So if you go to poker.pro or olibetevents.com, it's the same articles that will be up, but on both pages at the same time. There will be a full chip count and some more information from the day 2 in the main event. If it's not up already, it will be within minutes. But you can also, if you go to olibetevents.com and you check the entire schedule, you can click on the events, and then you will be forwarded to Poker Lens, where you will find all the information about the ongoing tournaments. So if you go to Olibet Events, find the tournament you're interested in, click on the name of the tournament, and it will get you to Poker Lens, who has all the live information about chip counts and names, etc. So, well, we'll wait for the next hand. Then, Rasmus, rest of the day, was it smooth sailing, or did you play a lot of pots in the end as well, or?
Well, this ace-king hand and ace-queen hands were towards the end, but I did play some small to medium pots, lost a 3-bet pot where I paid 1 c-bet and then folded on the river with ace-jack high. He claimed it was a good fold, and I didn't read too much into his comment. Here in the previous hand, you missed it. Yanni opened the button, got called in the big blind, and big blind flopped nothing. Yanni had king 4 on 5-5-4, but what I felt was worth mentioning is he actually ended up showing the 4 after he took it down, and did not opt not to reveal he was opening king 4, which is standard, but regardless, something he didn't want to give away.
And of course, you have to say king 4 is standard, because I've heard what you did with king 4 the other day. Let's not get back to that now. But,
yeah,
but also you heard it the other day, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
if you know, you know. Let's just leave it by that.
Let's just say it's every hand is a 5-bet if you are brave enough.
Exactly, absolutely. So, do you know any of these players that we have on the table then?
I do. I played briefly with Jaakko yesterday, and I've played with him 3 or 4 times, all the times here in Tallinn, even though we are both Finnish.
Yeah.
And
he's in seat number.
He's the sitting out seat number 8 or so, who's the big blind and being yelled to the table.
Yeah.
Oh, they're 7-handed. So
7. Yeah, 7.
So it's seat 7.
Yeah.
I'm also familiar with seat number 2. His name is Kirill.
Yeah.
He's an Estonian, great player. Been diving more into live since after.
He just joined the table, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been diving more into live since after I moved away, which was about a year ago.
Okay.
And but I've seen him during the festivals, and the other players have let me know that he's a very well established online player.
Yeah.
He's an excellent player, and the player I know the best by far is Yanni, who I have played with so many times I could not tell you. It's I feel like I play with him weekly, and he's a very good player.
Okay.
Better than me at cash games, definitely. Although, in perhaps nobody's defense, it's not that
nice
big of a
turn
bar.
For the Queen Jack of clubs.
Indeed, it is.
Trouble for your friend Johnny, my baby, but he's just with 10, so.
Yeah, he did check call the flop, and if he does face second barrel, it's gonna be tough to believe he's best here. There could be something like king queen or king jack with a club, preferably the king of clubs, of course, but perhaps a lower club. Although he does have a king. Again, it's not the king of clubs, so he doesn't block those exact king of clubs combos, but he does make the right fold.
Yeah.
And I do think it's a fold that in cash game you can make at this point, especially in live. In online at the top stakes, perhaps there is some frequency you have to peel here, just because of, as many people say, the solver is the craziest player to exist. But yeah, against normal humans in a live game with live settings, especially in one that's cards up, it's, often you can play more straightforward.
How do you go at it then when you sit down at a table like this? Maybe if you say like this is 10-25, but you say you played a lot of 10-10, etc. But do you like? What's your mindset? I mean, opening hands, starting hands, and I mean, do you vary a lot depending on who you're playing and what type of game it is, and or are you fixed on, like you said, any sheets or anything that you follow?
Well, I try to at least know what the theory would be.
Yeah.
But against certain players, I will do extensive adjustments, and.
But do you do them day by day, or do you, if you played a lot with a few players? Or
honestly, I can do them minute by minute. I see one hand showdown that I find interesting enough to make an adjustment, and I'm a player who adjusts very aggressively. I make aggressive assumptions about my opponents, and sometimes they're wrong, of course. But I would say that my ability to clock opponents quickly is one of my strongest poker assets, particularly in live.
Yeah.
And then just trusting my instincts to be correct. Meanwhile, particularly in cash games, my theory is not that strong. Although on the tournament side, I'm starting to become very happy with my theory side as well.
Yeah. But then you say you play a lot of cash games before. Now you play a lot of tournaments. Do you still combine the two, or are you focusing on one of these nowadays?
I do combine the two because I've very much been whittling out of the online scene, which means that. Sorry, I want to talk about this for a second. You can see the aggression frequency here in seven-handed play, very even. And of course, this is a very small sample size, but it shows that the table, nobody is going to really have any impression of a player so far that they should make adjustments based on the play, even if they are like me, who make aggressive adjustments.
And Kirill, that we saw, he was on the top of that one, but he's just been playing an orbit or two, so
yeah, exactly. It's
otherwise
it's very skewed.
Yeah.
All right, but you were asking, sorry, about the cash game and tournament combinations.
Yeah.
So I do combine the two, and more importantly, I believe that if I would start playing full-time for like an extensive period, of course now more in a trial period where I'm playing short-term, but it's perhaps not my long-term goal.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see. Then I believe it's pivotal to be able to also play cash, because it's a variant stabilizer in many ways.
Of course, yeah. It's hard to make a living on just
yes,
tournaments,
and also more importantly, if there is a very good cash table running, you need to be comfortable to jump in, because it's one of those things where you can just see it and jump in immediately. So.
Yeah. So when in the casino, do you go around table shopping then a bit for the cash games?
Not really. I do check the tables, yes, and so forth. But the truth is that, if anything, I almost purposely put myself in bad tables just because
you want to challenge yourself.
Yes, I believe that like long term I learn a lot. So playing with very good players, for instance, the other day I played in a 10-10 table where I was very aware I was one of the weaker players, and not by much, but enough where like logically perhaps you wouldn't want to sit there when you're just for rake and everything. But I decided to sit there and like kind of push myself. I do this fairly often when I get the opportunity. But at the same time, if I get the opportunity to sit at a good table, of course I take it.
Yeah, I get it. So just to remind you, if you're watching through the All A Bit Poker on YouTube, that chat is open, and we have a question from Sorokungen who wants to know how Johan Karlsson is doing. He won the main event in Kings of Tallinn a few years ago, but unfortunately he busted the main today on 144th place, a bit outside the money. So
yeah, 135 in the money. So
yeah, just outside.
Just shy.
But I'm sure he's in the mystery bounty right now. Most likely, at least. Started earlier today. The 1100 still have the late reg open, so would not be surprised to see his face in that one.
Yeah. Yanni going for a play that I really like here and one I will make frequently, which is the flat of ace queen against a very early open. You would almost rather 3-bet something either worse or just better.
Yeah.
Ace queen is way too strong to fold pre-flop, but it doesn't do well against the 4-bet from early position. Now then, flop is jack 10-3. Jaakko interestingly checks it, although out of position you do check a lot, and these middling cards will almost more favor the position, so perhaps I'll eat my words there and say that I didn't think that one through.
Ace flush draw added as well.
Yeah. Now...
Surprised to see another check here, or are you?
No, I think it's because when he check calls, Yanni still has the betting lead, and it's conversing that is very difficult. But now look at this.
He takes this upstairs.
And this is
almost
exactly
double
why
pot.
I say that Yanni is a very capable, very dangerous player. Being able to do this and assessing the stack sizes, I do believe we will see a call, and only a call here from Jaakko, because he's holding a very good hand with a really good redraw.
Absolutely.
But
this is an interesting hand. Oh, he actually jams now. Wow.
Yeah, so he decides to go with the equity he has. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll ever get called by a worse hand.
Exactly. I mean, that's interesting.
But he avoids facing aggression on bad rivers such as an ace, a king, or a queen.
Yeah.
Well, queen is not a bad river, I'll be honest.
Or something, he of course has the redraws, so yeah. I like that play, but interesting hand.
Yeah, it's a play that will not happen in theory, but in practice, it's depending on your opponent, it can be good to just take your equity and run with it. Especially, I don't know. It's interesting. I do think we're going to see an open here, 5-4. Yeah, a lot of people like to play these kinds of combos, and the heads of display did briefly take his hand away, but he did in fact open 75. Let's see if he has any customers. Doesn't look like it. Oh, he does, from the big blind. Very, very natural call. And this is often gonna go check bet. And then we'll see what Kenneth does with this holding. But no, Jaakko checks his draw. And I do find that interesting, because if you are going to open these 5 high holdings, you do need to be firing at this, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he flops the inside straight draw on the backdoor
again,
flush.
unless you have a range check spot, you should be firing these combos that will get a lot of better hands to fold, like jack highs, queen highs, and such. Now then, Kenneth checks twice. Jaakko fired the ace, which is very natural for his range, but it's a triple flush board, and the 9 is semi-connected as well. He bets very small. Gets a snap call, of course.
Yeah.
And is no good. Perhaps trying to fold out something like a 10 or 9-8.
So now then, Rasmus, tomorrow day 3 starts at noon.
Yes.
What are your plans? You're now here with me in the booth. It's 10:30 local time. Are you one of those heading to bed soon, or how do you prepare for a day 3?
Depends on the day 3, I'll be very honest. But in this case, my rhythm has improved over the week, which means that I'll be leaving you in a while, and I'll head home, and or at the apartment I'm staying, and I will not immediately go to bed, but I will be going to bed, well, let's just say like before 2 a.m., which means I get a good 8-9 hours in before waking up around 10:30, and then I just do the normal morning hygiene and eat some lunch and come over.
Will you be studying the table for tomorrow?
No, I'll open it to see who's there, and the familiar faces are interesting, but but I used to do table studying at a certain level, and in the end, I don't think I will be doing that.
Maybe because he doesn't speak
Right.
Finnish.
No. He's one of the nicest guys I ever met, but he can take all the shit that we talk.
Now we have some table talk. They're getting to know each other a bit now. They've been rather quiet at this table.
Yeah, I walked past it after we back the main. They had they had fewer players at this time.
Yeah.
And I believe the additions they have gotten since are very helpful in keeping some light conversation going.
Yeah, we always like that, of course. They had a bit
Yes.
of a chatter over at the table as well. And I had a question from the chat about the main event payouts. And those are, of course, also available where you can find them at poker.pro or allbetevents.com. And we can take a look at it together here now and see that 78 players remaining, which means that 3,050 euros will be the the payout for the next person out. And then, of course, we have pay jumps all the way. The final table starts at 14,200 euros for 9th place. And up top is 200,000 euros and 200. And that added package to Bahamas as well.
Yes.
And I believe that's non-transferable and personal. So Rasmus, will you be going if you win this one?
Definitely. I do use that word a lot, but I really do mean it. It's something that once you win the 5k package, I looked it over, and for the life of me currently I cannot remember what it did entail, but it looked to have decent value. Some packages that you earn, particularly in online satellites, can be
spiced.
they can be very deceived or skewed towards where way too much is, for instance, for travel with airplane, and particularly to locations where a lot of semi-local players will travel. You don't need $1,100 or euros set aside for airplane travel.
No. Yeah.
But this one, it does still contain things like the 2.5k ticket, I believe it was, which that alone is an excellent thing. And furthermore, I really like to pick locations that are nice, and it doesn't get much nicer than the Bahamas.
I don't think it does, right?
Double as a vacation, does it?
Have you been there already?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Even better.
Even better. Now then, bottom set for Jaakko.
And Tony does have one of these combos that can bluff
Continue.
here. And
Yeah,
he does. He does check raise as a bluff with the backdoor flush draw and the gut shot. Jaakko now.
Yeah, he opened this on the flop with 60 bet.
Yes.
And now he gets check raised then.
What should be a very easy call, although is he going to go the aggressive route this time? No. Good discipline there.
Dream card for him.
Exactly. Of course. I was about to say, I think Jaakko would have handpicked this card.
Yeah, exactly. He had a mantra in his head like, deuce of diamonds, deuce of diamonds.
And aside from the 4, I think if he could pick the river, he would pick the deuce of hearts. So, let's see what happens.
True. Now, checked from Tony.
And as we know, if Jaakko does end up firing this, which is very possible with this combo, he's not going to see a continue out of Tony, and he does reach for chips.
Yeah. 300. That's it for Tony. Mucking the 9-8 hearts.
So Jaakko getting a few good hands
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
With the
Getting
top pair and flush draw, and then hitting bottom set on that board. It's a board that he can rep quite well with the queen and the 10 as the button flat. Covers your range quite well, so it's very natural as well.
Yeah, and if you just joined the stream, you are maybe aware of that we usually stream a lot of tournaments, but this is a cash game, a 10:25 cash game. It's going to be ongoing until about 1 o'clock local time, a few more hours, and they are playing Hold'em only. In the booth, it's me, Andreas Hoagland, and I'm currently joined by Rasmus Lundström, Finnish I was about to say online player, but I meant the other way around almost. But you play a lot, and you've been focusing on poker for a few years now, but you're also studying now, is that correct?
Yes, I am studying economics in Finland.
And if you missed that part, he's 5th in chips after day 2 in the big main event. €1,500 buy-in, 1 million guaranteed. And I think we got some 888 runners when the late rec closed earlier today. And 78 of those remaining coming back tomorrow for day 3. Rasmus with 1 million in chips in 5th place. So exciting times.
Definitely. I have to say about this previous hand, this is a hand that again these online regular grinders would probably not have played a similar way, but in live it's very natural even for great players to play something like this. There's a very wide queen 10 open from under the gun 700, and then next position +1 flats, very wide queen 9 of diamonds, and then next position hijack with Kenneth. He decides to 3-bet very wide with 6-6 and sure enough takes it down against the 2 weak hands. I think he would have got much better hands even at this point to hit the muck.
Yeah. Ace 10 suited now.
Beautiful hand on the button for Kirill.
Absolutely.
I can tell you that while I will not run the whole hand through for you, I lost a very big 4-bet pot to Kirill in the summer of last year, I believe, when he had Ace 10 suited.
Maybe he's thinking about that hand now as he flops the top pair with the backdoor flush and backdoor straights, but no 7 unfortunately for us wanting the action.
Yeah.
As you can see, only 1 left in the deck as well.
And depending on the size here, Janne can continue for 1 street with the heart in hand.
Yeah.
It's very important to have the heart, not necessarily for the backdoor flush, but for when you draw the 7, it will not be the 7 of hearts bringing in a flush. This is why it's important in these spots if you don't want to have. Of course, we can see that one of the 7s is folded, so Janne is drawing quite slim.
He is, yeah, and expecting another bet, and then most likely a fold from Janne, but Kirill comes with a 200, is it? Yeah.
Yes, and
7s fly into the muck, of course, and on to the next one for Janne, who hasn't really got going on this table so far. But no major losses either for any player. We haven't had anyone go totally broke and leave the table. So
well, Janne lost one of the bigger pots when he went for the big overbet and faced extreme aggression from Jaakko. I think, of course, while it's an easy fold, he was a bit disappointed with that because it was a bluff that will work a lot of the time. And it's these kind of plays that make me both excited and a bit anxious to sit around him at the tables. He's very capable to do that for both value and as a bluff, as we witnessed. Jaakko now sticking to his 3x sizing rather than the 2x or 2.4x that the other players have opted for. Janne going for a wide 3-bet, although it's not problematic to go for this wide 3-bet when they are playing so deep, 4.5k and 4.9k respectively. 200 blinds each, so 3-betting a pair with the possibility of hitting that set is completely reasonable, particularly as a semi-bluff.
yeah, absolutely. Agreed. So Jaakko, the winner so far on this table. Folding. Kirill now then finds something playable. The ace-9 off from the hijack. Makes it 60. And 1 taker so far. What about, oh, here we go.
Beautiful squeeze spot for Igor with semi-late open and the late flat. You're on the button, you're going to have position. Even if he doesn't end up facing a 4-bet, I think he will continue, which is very unlikely to happen, again, at least from these 2 hands. But if he does face a 4-bet from the blinds, we might actually see him have a decision, one that I think he would opt with a call, but this does not occur. Takes
not
it
even
down.
the ducks stay in. Oh, and no.
Don't
Flop.
tell George.
Yeah. Don't tell him.
And it does seem like this has been the nature of the game here. A lot of pre-flop measuring each other out, testing around, but nobody really looking to get involved unless they have a decent hand, which again, it's very reminiscent of an online circle, with the difference that, of course, in live this is going to move much slower, so it might feel a bit slow-paced, at least for the moment. Let's see if that changes when Igors picks up a premium, if he faces any action from behind. We've seen a lot of wide 3-bets, but it folds quickly to Jaakko in the big blind, who is unlikely to put one of those in. But what he's likely to put in is the call. Does just that. Interesting flop.
Yeah.
Jaakko does find that piece, meanwhile Igor's likely to continue on this fairly dry structure. I say fairly dry. There are a lot of straight draws, particularly for a big blind, but big blind is going to have very few great made hands here.
Yeah.
And he does go the aggressive
look
route.
At this. Again, taking it upstairs. Jaakko, was that some 200 something? Yeah, 215.
And now we are going to have a pot on our hands because Igor's will not be folding.
No. As you said, of course, there are some hands in the big blind position that could have him beaten here, but not. There are so few, and so I mean, he has to think the queens are good. Just a matter of how he decides to play this one now.
Jaakko rightfully picking a very big size against a very small c-bet because he knows
There's the call.
that the big blind will not have a ton of made hands and will have a lot of bluffs here.
10 of spades gives Jaakko the pair at least now.
And the check line is quite likely in our future, although Igor's could bet here if he sniffs out the kind of hand Jaakko is on, that he has marginal strength. Perhaps he also thinks Jaakko check raised something like king jack off.
Yeah, I was just about to say targeting a king jack or something like that.
But the 10-9s, 10-8s, very incentivized to check, hands that he would like to bet against, and he does a very, very good 35-40% bet here.
Yeah, it's rather smallish. Interesting now, because now we have some more things going for Jaakko here. And here's the race.
Sorry, the graphics are wrong.
Yes, exactly. I was about to say that was actually Jaakko betting 200 and a re-raise.
Yes, which makes it very different, so we need to reanalyze that.
Oh, it's the call.
Jaakko
Now
does
we're
continue.
building a pot here. Yeah, because I also missed that 200 bet first
yes,
from Jaakko.
it's just outside of our view here.
Yeah. There's the other jack pairing the board.
And oh, I don't think Jaakko will find the bet here. He just quickly checks and loses to queens.
Igor's scared of that second jack and checks behind because he knows he's not getting a call. This time he might actually get some more out of Jaakko just with that 10 when the board pairs, but of course checking back and with the queens he's scared of any jacks, so
I think it's unlikely. It's you can exploitatively, if you believe your opponent will station off a lot, go for the barrel, but generally speaking, I think you will just be value cutting yourself incredibly hard. So I very much like the discipline check back from Igor's. It's not a great river for him, but Jaakko, however, though I believe his final decision should have been a check, I also believe he should have taken some time.
yeah, exactly. He's so quickly. Just if he want to, now he got what he wanted, the check back, but not put to another test, but still was like almost like I've given up check.
Yes,
the
exactly.
card landed and he's immediately checking.
And also there is a really tough player would find some overbets on that river to put on pressure. You block some of the full houses of Jack 10 and 10s. 10s will probably call the check raise on the flop.
Yeah.
And you lose to a lot of hands you could potentially fold out. Kirill with a very wide open under the gun. Tony goes for the 3-bet here in the previous hand. Takes it down.
Well, some orders being put into the bar, as they have about 2 hours 15 minutes left of play on this TV stream. And then of course the table might continue downstairs if they feel like they want to continue playing, but we have airtime until about 1 o'clock local time, and it's now 10:45. And Rasmus, you want to leave us, or are you staying a little bit more? Just tell me when, and I'll let you get off to that preparations for tomorrow. You have a big day coming.
I'll stay for a moment. I think I'll be here for a little while longer, but I will be leaving you at some point.
You want to see this hand, because now it's action.
Kirill does have a decision here. Tony, however, I'll get back to him in a moment. First, we'll see what Kirill opts to do. I think with the pretty early 2 positions tangling, Kirill will be folding at a fairly high frequency, but I also believe Kirill is exactly the kind of player who does find a 4-bet here sometimes, and he does 4-bet.
Wow.
Now over to Igor's. He's not folding.
Never.
But it's when he 5-bets, it's showing immense strength. I do believe he should, because if he does not, he takes the risk of a hand like Ace-Jack, Ace-Queen suited coming along for the ride, which is not something that's going to be particularly pleasant in the hijack of Tony. But I think as played, it's also very likely for us to see a flat. He's too deep to shove. I would certainly think so, but theory-wise, I think Kings and Ace-King are 2 hands that could shove here, exactly. He could have pretty much those 2 exact hands in his range, and Kings is one of them. He shoves and Kirill folds very quickly. Getting back to Tony in the hijack, Tony has one of these combos that is very beautiful, sees to see a flop and doesn't want to be played out, but at the same time, if Tony flats and Kirill is naturally going to 3-bet, let's hypothesize. Sorry about that.
We know what you mean.
Hypothesize that Kirill goes for the 3-bet and the undergun opener of Igor's folds. Then Tony is in a position where when he goes call and call again, he is playing his hand fairly face up, but I do prefer the call pre-flop. Then again, in live, people do choose these lines that are not based in anything. Hello
there again. Back-to-back action now then.
And more importantly, this is with 2 players who are very unafraid of building a pot. So regardless of what route Jaakko chooses to go here, I think we are quite likely to see some fireworks post-flop. Perhaps some light floating.
Yanni with just 1.4 behind as well.
That is worth noting, yes. One of the many reasons, perhaps, if Jaakko is attentive and notices his stack, that Jaakko does go for the call.
Yeah.
Ace high, come on. Oh, it is.
All right.
I will say the king lessens the action, but definitely not going anywhere on the flop. And I think Jaakko is a player who's going to be very unafraid here with his ace-queen.
Yeah.
He's just going to
It cost him
want to look up his opponent.
1400.
He can already raise, but he's going to go for the call.
Just went for the call. With, of course, the...
I think he should call, absolutely. But with Jaakko, you never really know which line he's going to take.
No.
Yanni now.
Expect him to shove here or go for smaller one?
Both are on the table. It's a very connected board, but at the same time, when you shove, you put some of your other hands in prison that would like to bet fold here. That want to continue to deny equity and so on and so forth against, say, King Queen suited. But
350 is the choice.
He does go for the about 1/3 bet. I like this play very much, and in my head I was thinking around 325, 350 as a very nice bet. It's more difficult to play this line, but Yanni, as a very capable player, very unafraid player, is not going to have trouble doing it, and we do see a call from Jaakko. Now then, if we do see a connecting river of any form, flush or otherwise, going to be interesting. But it is not. I think it's Jani's play is very clear. The question is over to Jaakko. I believe he's going to call. But Jani is repping very strong when he shoves this river. Also from a position that's very inclined. There he goes. Snap call.
Yeah, nothing you can do much. Then Jaakko, I mean, one thing that might have gotten off the hand is that he has actually the diamond, the club of
Queen of clubs.
Queen
yes.
of clubs, yeah, sorry. And but still, of course, I mean, just 800-900 more into that big pot, and he has the ace queen. So yeah, hand pretty much played itself. But I like, as you said, I like the bet of 350 from Jani there on the turn as well. So keeping Jaakko in, and not much he can do.
Yes.
But full double up then for Jani. He was a bit down a bit, and now back in green.
Yes, I do believe. While I have not seen how much he's bought in for, I have understood that he hasn't lost so much. So winning that 1.8k pot is definitely going to put him on the green side.
Yeah, should, yeah. Can it now?
A player I hope we see to get to play a lot post-flop, because I actually have played a fair bit against Kenneth here.
Yeah.
And while I have not seen him show down a ton of hands against me or anyone else, I do know that he's a very capable player. Definitely much better than me. So I would be excited to see him get involved in the action, because Kirill and Jani, while they are two good players, I have played with them quite a bit, so I have seen them and their playstyle a lot. And with Kenneth, I have sat down with him quite a few times, but I've never really clashed with him.
Get it. Kirill now, sevens. Surely re-pipping this one, of course. Making it 60 to go on the 10-25 blinds that we are playing. And let's see, ace-jack surely is calling this one. Out of position, of course. It's not like he... Oh, he actually comes upstairs with the... I was just about to say that most likely just calling, but he makes it 260 with the ace-jack off, Igor's.
I don't mind it. In the small blind, particularly on higher stakes, people do find that the aggressive approach is generally the correct one. Although I believe Kirill will continue here, and he does. Late position against late position, sevens is a decent hand. It flops fairly well.
Where do you draw the line then? Sevens, fours, six, fours, four, fives to call there. Sevens is just...
Well, ironically, I wouldn't open the pockets as full frequency, but when I do open, I'm very likely to call off a 3-bet.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I would prefer to fold other hands, non-paired hands.
Yeah.
I believe that when you do open the paired hands, you call off a lot on 100 big blinds and deeper against normal-sized 3-bets. Whether that's correct or not is...
Igor has checked this one, so over to Kirill, goes for the 125 bet. To about 550.
Yeah, you get to this level, you drink one.
Very inviting sizing here.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll ever see a check raise with the jack for some potential backdoors. There's a lot of interesting turns for Igor's hand, like a queen, which would give him a double gutter, or a 9, which would give him an open ender. But no, he calls. I do think it's too soon to fold for a hand this strong, particularly with the backdoors coming in. But now then, I think when he does check and check again, Kirill could very much go for a second bet here. It might seem unorthodox, but it is something we would see. And the river is a king after Kirill does check it. A more theory-approved approach than the second bet. Igor's has a decision here. If he bets, he's gonna be targeting hands exactly like the one Kirill has. The real question is, if he does bet, what size does he opt to go? I would guess he goes around the 5 to 750, probably on the higher side, so about 700. No, he goes even bigger.
Wow, full 1,000?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Kirill does seem to have one of the candidates that is going to be a pretty clear fold here. Of course, when he checks the turn, he's not going to be the strongest on this river, but bet small on the flop, check the turn. As I said, Igor is going to be targeting exactly like the ones Kirill has, which means that in Kirill's shoes, probably should find the fold. Great bet from Igor's though.
Let's say we had a deuce on the river there though. I mean, another undercard to the sevens, affecting the decision of Kirill, you think?
Very much, and I think the bet's going to be very different, or at least like you're going to be repping something so very different after you check it over as the aggressor. Checking it over in out of position in cash games is quite common when you go to a flop, but in 3-bet pots much less so, of course, because you are a different level of aggressor at that point. Even if you are the aggressor, if you're playing hijack against button and it's a single raise pot, hijack is going to check at a very high frequency. Meanwhile, in this small blind versus cutoff, small blind doesn't check at the same level of frequency.
Now we're seeing some hands here. More action has picked up. It's getting later, but also it's getting more action hands dealt.
Yes, and more importantly, we've seen some flops that have allowed people to make these creative plays, like the 9-8 suited going for the check raise, which we saw a while ago in the pot where Jaakko did end up having the set, and Jaakko check raising his gut shot, and so on and so forth.
Oh, bit of for everyone on this turn. Inside straight draw for Kenneth and the open for Janne. See if there's any action as he grabs some 60 euro chips. Kenneth betting 60.
And this is a bet size, I think, that sets up a 2-street game, both for value and as a bluff. When he fires this size, regardless of if he has a value hand or a bluff, I think he will be firing the river very often to various sizes depending on the card.
Yeah. Janne then looking for the straight or some. Oh, there's
I
the
was
ace
just
instead.
about to see that an ace is one of few cards that might very well kill the action here.
Yeah.
I think Kenneth will go for the check give up, but
I
it is
assume he
possible he goes for a big overbet as well. If you are betting, your opponent has more ace-6, so you would be betting very big.
Small. Another 60, was it?
Interesting
65.
this. He goes for the block bet.
Yeah.
And he's
just to call it
certainly
off.
not looking to fold out Janne's exact holding, but there are, because he has such a weak holding, there are holdings much stronger than his that will fold out, so it does make sense.
Yeah.
Because I was in the hand and now you was in the hand, but it was really funny. Thank you. We all appreciate that. The joke is always good when nobody laughs, but you get applause. But it gets better after 15 minutes and then someone finally brings it up. So it's basically like, you know, it's like it's just baking until that point. Good job. But we appreciate it. I really love how you hold it all this time. Like
yes.
You know,
I was in the hand and I couldn't laugh at the moment, and then he's in the hand and I'm like, okay, take your time, bro.
And then they have a hand and you are like in the between. And wow. What a life.
Tony choosing to be Team Jaakko with the opening size. Sticking to the 75, and Jaakko very clearly likes to see flops from the big blind, goes for a call here. Nothing wrong with that when you have a hand that can connect with a variety of flops, although I do think we'll see him quite quickly fold in this very dry structure. Chooses to come along, probably with some devious intentions down the line. unless you have any, it will not be the best option to come along. However, his devious intentions change, I believe, when he hits this second pair. And that's good enough to call, not good enough to bet itself. And it's it does take the dominant lead in this hand. Tony, checking, seemingly giving up on the pot. And on the 3 river, bringing in 3 to a flush. If Jakob bets, oh, he bets very small. That's interesting. If he chose to bet very big, it could be a spot where we see Tony hero call with the ace of hearts and hitting a pair on the river. But then again, at the same time, that only really happens if he expects Jakob to flat as wide as he did on the flop. King 7 deuce rainbow is a board where people will struggle immensely to flat hands that are not at least 1 pair or ace high. So Tony in this spot, when is his 3 ever good? He does call because the price is about 10% pot, but even so, didn't seem like a big fan of that. In different lines, different outcomes, we might see something else from Tony with holding the ace of hearts there. Of course, the blocker to the nuts. Tony acknowledging that if he would have barreled the turn, he would have found a way to win this hand regardless of what the turn outcome would have been, more or less pondering about his play. And we seem to have moved back slightly into this trend of post-flop testing around, not a lot happening. The hands have been quite dry and there hasn't really been a collision since the ace-king against ace-queen.
First name, Elena. Yep. 25, thank you. Good to know. 25, thank you. Thank you.
So as you can see, they're doing the hourly rake, just collecting a bit from the casino. And on to the next hand.
Did I understand correctly that they were taking rake from everyone?
Yes.
Yes, I played at one of these tables before and we did a very fun thing, which is that everyone was supposed to pay the rake,
Yeah.
but instead of that, everyone, we counted what the rake was after everyone would have paid, and then we drew a winner, or in this case, loser,
Okay, yeah.
who paid the rake.
That's also one way to do it, of course, with the 8s now for Janne. As Tony came out 50 from the hijack with the king 9.
Tony with the min open, one of the few who seems to prefer that at this table. If you are going to be opening,
And normally you're opening 60, 65, right?
60 or 65 is just, I think, the most common sizes at these stakes. And 75 is for people who just stick to the 3x almost no matter the stake.
Yeah.
Which we have a couple of those players here. Interestingly, Tony picked the 50 sizing, even though he opened 75 into Jakov's big blind a few hands ago. Of course, if he saw what Jakov called, perhaps he knows that Jakov does to tango in there. And furthermore, Jakov called his c-bet on the flop with just 10 high on king 7 deuce rainbow with no real backdoor except the runner straight. Because he had 10-6 offsuit that time. Hitting the 10 on the turn, ending up winning the hand, but it was a very ambitious thing. And Jani decides to call this 3x open with a very ugly ace.
Eight, 9 king, so top pair and just a swing and a miss for Jani. So might not be much more action if that one doesn't bring us anything, but it does not. And now Jaakko, of course, must be betting this one.
Very much so.
50 is enough. And just saw the question in the chat about the rake, how much it is. I'm not quite sure actually, because the TV table is a bit special. They are doing like an hourly or a half-hour rake compared to normally cash games you play, you rake per pot. So
I believe it's 25 per person per hour.
yeah, I think that's what I think they collected one light blue chip each, which is a 25. So that should be the rake. So there's a fairly decent or cheap rake on this one, because they are of course giving us some action of course as well. So I think the bar is open for these guys as well included. So maybe not the heavy stuff, but at least the soft drinks are free when you're playing at the TV table.
Yes, and here at the Olympic, all games 5-5 and above, you do get free tap beer.
Yeah.
So
okay.
not-
Now I see you're talking value here now.
Yes, definitely. You have to think about this kind of things. Of course, I'm aware of what it's like.
Yeah, absolutely. So then are you then calculate the number of tap spears per hour and contra table, and you have to take everything into consideration, right?
Oh, there's a lot to think about, but ultimately...
And they say cash game is easy. You have to think about so much.
Ultimately, the only calculation you need to be aware of is that the tap bear seems free, but it's very expensive.
It could be, yeah.
Especially if you play
could
like
be
me.
the cheapest or most expensive tap beer you ever had.
Yes. Much like, perhaps, Andreas, you remember you gave me one of my most expensive hats I've ever had.
Yes.
Very different experience, of course, but
yeah.
for those who have ever played a flip and go tournament, I played quite a few of those in a row and got a small consolation prize when...
A very small considering how much you spent on the flips, yes.
Yes, but it's a bit of a symbol, if
and
you will.
You say people back home call your luck box did not work with flips apparently.
Well, you know, everybody has their niche.
Yeah, exactly. You found your not to play game then.
Yes.
There will never be another flip.
Well, you'd think so, but a few weeks after that I did 3 or 4 in a different tournament.
Yeah. And now I know your weak spot. If I want to get you in another one of those flip tournaments, I'm just going to offer free tap beer. So that we'll have, both have the most expensive cap you ever worn and the most expensive tap beer you ever drank. Perfect. Back to this table now. As you can see, 3 diamonds doesn't favor of any of these guys. The 4th one will probably kill the action as well, even more, even though Kenneth has a pair of queens, but this just nothing for Kirill on this board. So
now the question is, when Kenneth makes this very small blockish size, that is Kirill going to decide there's a will and there's a way?
Could be.
If you are going to get value here, you of course should be finding some bluffs. And
yeah, you will easily know whether it's gonna work or not if you put a raise there, but he's just giving it up with the ace-9 of spades.
Definitely the most common play.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, I always try to highlight the creative lines that are available, but oftentimes, particularly for cash players, they should be taking the most standard line about 90% of the time.
Yeah.
As a tournament player, you can take the creative lines much more often, because it is a completely different dynamic with the risk of busting for one player in every pot. But as a cash game player, your main goal should be to have a solid foundation, bet big with good hands. Then from there you start thinking about what would be your bluffs in a spot, and how are your opponents going to be ranged, and what are some interesting exploits and so on. But you start from a very solid foundation. That is how you have success in cash. Here you heard it from a moderately unsuccessful cash player.
I don't think so. You should definitely listen to this guy in any advices within poker. I think Rasmus Lundström is beside me if you just joined me. And another final reminder about day 3 tomorrow in the main event. Rasmus is 5th in chips coming into that one. And you said you wouldn't be scouting the table so much for tomorrow, but if you look at the top 20 or just the chip count currently, I know you know many of these guys, but would you be able to pick a few of the toughest opponents?
Well, I played with the second in chips today a while. He seems very good, Stephen Groom.
Yeah.
I also met him briefly in Ireland, so...
he was 6th in last year's main event, I think, in the Irish Open.
Yes. David Vinaya is an excellent player. He won the High Roller just a few days ago, so he has a ring from this festival already.
He did, and he's in 10th place, and in 7th place, his heads-up opponent in the High Roller,
Yes, Ritvars. I've seen him around quite a bit. Haven't had the pleasure of playing with him very much, but I have seen him around.
And also still in the main, Xiao Fei Wang, who was 4th in
the High Roller.
And it's so often when you have these 10-day series plus that we have now that you see people doing well in the beginning and then they just continue. You know, they're on a run. Do you feel that? Have you ever experienced or felt that yourself, that if you're off to a good start, you really continue to run good throughout the week?
Absolutely, but I mean, I don't know if I'm the best example because, like you mentioned, the Finnish call me a lockbox. And now then, I will get back to you. In the main event.
But we have to concentrate
on the... But here, because of Kenneth's small blind call, which by the way is going to save him a lot of money, Jaakko has a very juicy 3-bet here with King Jack suited as a squeeze to a very big size. He does even go slightly bigger than I would perhaps expect, although it is supposed to be a very big 3-bet, and I think some of the people who we see with the empty chairs that have moved away are going to miss out on the fireworks we are about to witness from Igor's.
Because now, as you can see, Jaakko is in with 375, having 1.7 behind. Of course, Igor's taking that in consideration of how to play the aces now, but what different routes does he have here?
You will see people call sometimes, although I do think we're going to see a clickish sizing.
Yeah.
He chooses for a more natural sizing. It seems like a click, but it's a little more than that. I would still classify this as a click. I revert to my previous statement, and it does exactly the trick which he wants to.
1.6 in the middle now then.
SPR of less than 1 going to the flop.
Yes.
Jaakko with being the effective stack, 1.3 behind. And he is in big trouble when and if he hits top pair.
Or 2 clubs, or top pair, yeah. Here we go. Bad news for Jaakko.
And as the kind of player Jaakko is, I believe we will see him check jam here a lot.
Yeah, because now we're expecting a smallish bet from Igor's.
We are expecting a very small continuation bet. When you go with the click sizing, you're either going to have the nuts, or at a very low frequency you will have some bluffs. And when a lot of your range, is the nuts, most often you will see people go for these very small sizes.
He knows 100% he's ahead, of course, because there's no possible holdings for Jaakko that's beating the aces by now, and this is just going in here, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, all in, and
does.
Of course, snap call, and 2 times asked from Igor's.
I do believe that Jaakko will be going once.
I think he signalized that, yes.
He is going to need help on the river.
Does
not get there.
So
Jack, no good.
Jaakko, who was up a lot in the beginning of this one, is having to surrender his stack and say goodnight, I think, as well. That's it for Jaakko, but thank you for being a part of this one and putting on a show.
He doesn't have the opportunity to rebuy?
Yeah, they definitely do, but I think he just said goodnight and called it a night, so they can absolutely come back as many times as they want to, but I think they've actually agreed to only play like some 50 more minutes on this table, so maybe just calling it a night, Jaakko, or he goes downstairs and finds a better table to play the cash. Because downstairs there are 10 plus cash game tables, if not 20, running right now. So there's a lot to choose from.
There was also a queue to this table, and while not
There
everyone
was,
in
yeah.
that queue will be taking their seat, somebody probably will, even if they are only playing for 50 minutes. Somebody will probably be tempted for some TV time. It is not uncommon for these tables that pay hourly rate for them to pre-discuss how committed people are to playing another hour and agree that, say, alright, so people don't want to play too long, what do you say we pay for this hour and then we can call it a day?
Yeah.
No hard feelings. I do believe with Jaakko going, the action is going to slow down further because Jaakko was one of the players that was very willing to tangle, particularly post-flop.
Yes, one of the people driving the action. But now at least Kenneth losing it up with a little queen 8 on the button raise, and Janne with the nice suited connectors just comes along from the big blind.
Calling it a connector is perhaps a bit generous, but it is connected. You could flop a straight.
Yeah, and trip 8s for Kenneth. He knew what he was doing, but unfortunately no takers. Should have needed one more. The deuce of diamonds, and maybe Janne stays in, of course, but this time Kenneth has to settle for a small pot.
Meanwhile,
yes, back to the main event before you leave us.
There are some other names that I do know. Jussi Mattila, of course, a very lively player at the tables,
yeah,
someone I'm
Jussi.
familiar with. Yes, and moreover, a very strong Finnish player who I very briefly spoke with, and he did mention his stack. Tomi Lankinen is on day 2 with over average stack being around 570k. Other than that, I'm not sure. I know Saara was in my table, Saara being one of the Finnish ladies that was at the final table, and she was multi-tabling back and forth.
She was, yeah. But you do recognize the player in 50th place.
I do, yes. It's Ilari Sahamies, of course, legendary poker player in many ways, and more importantly, someone who was wearing a hoodie today that I also own.
Aha, really? You bought
yes.
it?
It's part of King's Casino merchandise that you can find if you ever do find yourself in Rosvadov, and it's a very popular choice from their catalog, because even when not visiting there, I feel like I've seen it multiple times around different casinos. So
is it downloaded with the built-in?
It is the one that says God of Gambling on the front.
Okay.
Something I believe many do like identifying
themselves.
Yeah, do like identifying themselves.
Self-identify, yeah. In 54th place, known Estonian player, of course.
Yes, Marko Koplimaa. Marko Koplimaa notably backed less for day 2 than I did day 1, because Marko Koplimaa came in with the chip lead of around 435, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So while I'm sure he's happy he made both the money and day 2, he hasn't had the most successful day. I am though curious, where is Juho? Juha Helppi.
He's out.
Yeah, because he had a massive stack on the bubble.
Oh, yeah,
and he busted in 92nd place. He was the biggest stack with about 140 left.
Okay.
He had a stack of around 1.3 million.
Wow, okay.
Yes. So
yeah, because he was the chip leader early on today as well.
Yes, he must have had some very big collisions.
Yeah.
And I believe he's one that has contributed to our chip leader, because our chip leader came from a table break, and Helppi was at one of the back tables, which did break before end of day. He came from a table break and sat down with already around 2 million in chips.
Yeah,
so it is very likely that those chips have come from Juha Helppi, and then he got a further donation from King 7 with no real draw or anything.
So another player in the top 10 that plays a lot of tournaments here in Estonia, and also the top Estonian in the tournament right now, Igor Pihila Senior. Have you played a lot with him?
Yes, actually he was on my table today.
Okay.
And he's notable for his very creative play. If you ever do get the chance to watch him play on a TV table, you should play a game with yourself where you guess what Igor is going to do before he does, and I can tell you this is a much more difficult game than it sounds.
I see. Yeah, I have had him on the TV table last year or 2 years ago, and it was absolutely, as you said, it would be a challenging game to say what he's about to do. Now then, if you look at the table, the cash game table that we are watching, not much action as Gianni has the top pair and Kirill just nothing. All right, so the table draw for day 3 will be out today or tomorrow. Do you know that?
I hope so, and I must say I'm interested in one thing, because can you tell me, Andreas, at what time does the TV stream for the main event? Do you start immediately from the start of day?
No, because tomorrow we're starting the stream at 1:30, but that will be from the Mystery Bounty final. So in the late afternoon or early evening will be the stream from the main event. I can tell you shortly exactly when.
I must say, while I'm happy you are streaming it, I'm extremely sad that you were not streaming it last year, because I could have shown and bragged to all my friends about my glorious 3.5 big blind comeback on the final table.
True.
Yes.
So preliminary then tomorrow, 1:30 local time is the €1,100 Mystery Bounty final day. And then from 8:30 in the evening will be the day 3 of the main event. So the last hours of day 3 will be covered tomorrow evening. And then of course Sunday, it's all about the main event. From 12:30 local time we have the final day of the main event all the way to the winner late Sunday night. So that's the streaming schedule as it looks.
Yes. And I have to say, Tallinn is one of my favorite places to play. Though I've never been on the main event final table, I cannot believe the amount of players who pass up the legendary opportunity of playing the final table, winning, and then immediately, or nearly immediately, heading over to the after party, which is always running exactly at the time when the event it kicks off a few hours before end of main event every time. So you get the perfect segue to come in at the peak of the party as
with your
the
trophy.
main star.
Yeah, of course. Perfect plan. So hopefully the person doing that Sunday night will be Rasmus Lundström then, with the ring on his finger, because we are competing for rings here, of course. It's not bracelets like in Vegas. You will win a WSOP Circuit ring if you manage to ship any of the ring events. I think there are 12 of them totally, but of course the crown of them being the big main event with €200,000 up top. And this is your old table then from today, right? That we are seeing right now.
Yes, this is my old table.
So the table draw is not in yet, but it will be later on for tomorrow. So interesting to see. Is there anyone among the top ship counts then that you would rather not have on your table tomorrow morning?
I'm sure there are several, but I'll be honest, I don't want to give them satisfaction of naming them.
You don't have to. Absolutely
yes, because they might believe, oh, hello.
True.
Back to the action.
Yes, now we're back at the table.
Tony chooses a very speculative combo to go for a min-click raise on this ace-7 ace board. But when you do go for this sizing, it is interesting that he goes for bluffs, clearly probably expecting Kirill to overfold to this size if he chooses this kind of combo to go for it with. Because at that size you should be very value heavy, and as we can see he's very, very bottomed in his range. If you have a lot of bluffs, your size should be considerably bigger. Now then, and he does pick up equity on the turn.
Yeah.
Interesting. Again, like I said, he picks a size where Kirill could, should, and probably would be floating a lot because the price is excellent. So Bonnie possibly planning a multi-street game, and when he gets one of the better cards for him, of course not the best being an offsuit 5, you would expect him to continue firing, and now going for something that's more gonna put his hand to the test. He goes for a 125 size. He's trying to put these marginal high hand holdings to a test, something like perhaps a King Jack with a diamond, or something else that just cannot find his stuff to fold against the very small check raise on the flop. I don't believe he's trying to fold something like 8s with this size. It's a very inviting size. Of course, those hands might fold later to a river bet, but at this stage, I don't believe that he's trying to fold out even a 7 from Kirill. Kirill's actual holding, of course, will be continuing, although...
Oh, he takes it upstairs. 425.
And surely, because Tony already chose
Tony
creativity.
looked shocked. He was expecting a call or a fold, but doesn't happen. And of course, this one, tough one to continue now. Just some TV time, and then it goes into the muck, right?
Yes, I do believe that will be the result.
Yup, maybe not. Up. Look at this. He comes along for the 425.
Oh, wow. And
Wow.
surely he has some devious intentions here.
Yeah.
Because just
Oh, I thought it
planning
was
on
a
check,
5.
planning on check folding the river is at a high frequency, cannot be profitable, which means that he's planning at a fair amount of the time to rep something as a lead here.
Yeah.
Because there is no way he's coming along with the intention of checking most rivers.
Absolutely not.
And he bets
100.
100. Wow. And look at this.
And it will
he bets
get it
100. And I think, yeah, like you said, I think that might get it done. Although Kirill, an
And this
extremely
is-
good player,
yeah.
again, we might see him click
just
this
100.
back. So sick, but we might see him click it back to something like 325. I so hope that happens. Again, the 100 should get it done, and it does.
Wow.
What a play by
He
Tony, and he
shows,
shows the
shows.
table. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. And now we get some reaction,
Yeah.
some energy from the table.
Exactly. Yeah. Kirill taps the table. And I think I will tap the table for your efforts,
Yes,
Rasmus.
they
You're
have
off
more
to
energy.
Sleep and concentrate on tomorrow's day 3 in the main event.
More energy at the table, new energy in the booth. I will.
Yes, absolutely. Christopher Carlin, the live reporter from Poker Pro, is coming in to join us for the final stint.
Yes.
And
And
off you go, Rasmus. but-
Christopher, I have to tell you, there's no hoodies allowed when you're sitting here, and you may not get that one back once you take it off.
He's just trying. He tried to steal Jason's as well. So don't take it off, Christopher. Especially if you're not wearing anything under. Rasmus, many thanks for your efforts. Hope to see you. I hope you, firstly, to see you on the final table Sunday. But if not, you're more than welcome back in the booth as well.
Thank you. I hope I will not be back, but I'll be happy to come if I get the opportunity.
Thank you. Rasmus Lundström, 5th in chips, coming into day 3 tomorrow in the big main event. And always fun to have him in the booth. And always fun to chat with this young gentleman just stepping in the booth. This is Christopher Carlin, fellow Swede and fellow colleague with the media team. Christopher, you are doing the live reporting, I heard.
You are 100 percent correct. I'm doing the live reporting on poker.pro, and right now I'm here with you, and from what I heard it sounded like I came into the right time with a big hand.
Yeah, absolutely, and a fun hand as well, where the 100 bluff on the river earned him the 1,200 euro pot. So yeah,
wow.
There was some laugh and taps on the table. Nice, fun hand to see, as he got away with only the 6 high.
Oh wow!
And Kirill did not hero call the 100 into 1,200, which would have earned him the pot with just a jack high, the paired board. But yeah, nice and fun hand, and hopefully it feeds the action for the rest of the evening as well. As I think they might be playing for just 30 or 40 more minutes, but we'll see. Maybe they'll extend it a little bit.
Yeah, I think we should have roughly half an hour left here.
Yeah.
Give me the quick recap. Who's up?
Who's up and who's not?
Who's up and who's
I've
not?
actually hasn't been here from the start, but I know that it's not been anyone except Jarko was his name, right? That busted a few moments ago. So losing a big pot to this guy just peeking his car, Igor's. So he's definitely up, Igor's. I think he's in for 3 or 3.5, and he sits with almost 7. And I thought so. He's definitely the biggest winner. Kirill just came in like an hour ago, and he's pretty much even Steven.
Yeah, picks up a nice hand here in the big blind as well.
Yeah. And inside straight draw from Yanni, and not much for Kirill with no diamonds at all, so expect him to check fold maybe, even though the bet is only 30 with paired board, not staying in with the ace. And just before we go anywhere else, I'm just going to answer some questions in the chat as well. Our VIP, Just Fun X, is asking if there's any buying cap for the tables. I might tell him and you that there's none. You can sit down with 100k if you want to. So maybe if you want to run out of the booth again and sit down playing, or are you staying here?
Well, considering I only have 70 euros right now, I think.
Total net worth or in your pocket?
In my pocket, thankfully. So, you know what? I think I'll stick around.
You sit down. Okay.
Yeah.
And absolutely, this is real money. This is a cash game live streamed from the Olympic Casino, Hilton in Tallinn, during the World Series of Poker circuit events. So we're streaming tournaments mostly, but today it's all about the cash game, and they're playing 10 25 euro blinds, and the minimum buy-in is 2,500, but there's no max cap. But when the table started some hours ago, they sat down with between 2.5 and 4k, so the average buy-in was around 3.2. So sure, it is real money.
It is real money. In terms of the stream, it's live tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we'll be back with the tournaments from 1:30. We're streaming the final day of the Mystery Bounty, and then in the evening there will be live stream from day 3 in the main event, which I assume we will be covering for the blog tomorrow.
You are absolutely correct. On poker.pro we're doing the live updates with all the photos and the chip counts, and hey, you name it.
You got it.
You got it all.
Any special requests? Can we request any special pictures as well, or if we want to know maybe what the chip leader ate for breakfast, will that be included in the report?
Not breakfast, but lunch.
Okay.
We'll take a big sweep over the chip leader's lunch.
Yeah,
yes.
Perfect. Pictures as well, yeah, perfect. Yeah, and probably it will be from the food truck outside, right?
Most likely. Speaking of food truck, Igor's absolutely ate up this flop, flopping a pair of aces here.
Yes.
And it's Kenneth who leads out as a pre-flop aggressor.
Yeah. But Igor's, the food man, stays in, of course. He's not had any bad shrimps for lunch. This guy is sitting patiently in his chair and goes check on the turn. Flush completing, not for any player, but possible flush there is. And Igor's now must seek some value, right, with that ace?
Yeah, there's no real reason to be worried for a flush here, I believe.
Not the way it was played,
no.
Absolutely not. So 210 in the pot. We expect 100 maybe? No, sizing up a bit. 125, 150. 150. Quick fold, of course, for Kenneth Cook.
Ah!
Yeah, you know him?
No, but it's a fun name considering we talked about food just a minute ago.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the chef.
Yeah, he's driving the food wagon.
Ah,
absolutely. And the action on the table somewhat. And yeah, these guys. Have you played with or reported or played with any of these guys?
I was actually just thinking about it, and I don't think so. I don't recognize any of the names immediately. However, that's not the case, of course, with Rasmus, who was here before me. As you mentioned, as he left, he's in day 3 of the main event.
Yep.
And boy, were there some crazy hands at the last level today.
Yeah, his table was pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
And some other tables as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because Jason and me, before Rasmus came in, Jason Glatzer, your colleague, was here, and when we saw the chip count, we thought it was a typo.
Yeah.
For the chip leader, it has 3.15 million, almost double of second place.
Karolis Kutkauskas.
Yeah, perfect pronunciation.
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you. I've been practicing it a lot. No, he first, well, mainly he won a real big pot against Finnish poker legend Juha Helppi. Yeah, and he
Did
got
you see that? Did you get that hand or?
I did. I did get that.
Tell us.
Oh wow! Well, long story short.
Yes, please.
The money went in on the turn, and Juha had a flopped set of sevens.
Wow. Okay.
Which was the second to lowest set, I think. But you know, a set is a set. And
even in Tallinn.
Yes, that is the case. And Kutkauskas had the turned straight.
Oh,
so Helppi was actually...
Now just before we see what happened, because we already know what happened since Juha went out, but let's see the river of this one with the flush draw, because now we're building a pot on the cash game table as well. As we have flush draw. And not completing any flush draw, it goes check, check, with still the king high, good enough.
Yeah, wow. Both players had big draws up to the river, but yeah, king high was good enough, and Tony wins yet another one.
Yes, he does.
4.5 now.
Yeah. So back to that. So money went in on the turn, and no pairing.
No, exactly.
For Mr. Helppi.
No Helppi. No Helppi for you, Helppi. He needed to improve to a full house or quads.
Yeah.
But didn't get it, and well, you probably know more about him than I do. I know, of course, he's a very respected player, and he was probably one of the biggest names in the field.
Absolutely,
so, I mean, maybe some players are happy for the outcome. You know, their chance of winning may be better.
Yeah, their odds went down actually. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think also he was already. The game started at noon today, and then I think he was like top 20 in chips, and then an hour in he was already the chip leader of day 2.
Yeah.
So he amassed a lot of chips early, and we were saying like, oh wow, this is going to be a final table for sure, because he had 1 million when the average was about 300, I think, or less. And yeah, you're healthy with a lot of chips is usually trouble for the other ones in the field,
but everything can happen in poker, and that proved to be the case today as well.
So while we, of course, will keep an eye on the cash game table, let's talk a bit more about the main event that you're covering tomorrow. And a lot of big names still in.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone, if you pick your top three of these that has to make the final table on Sunday?
Ooh, because I enjoy seeing them play, or that I think, okay, these are 3 contenders for the title.
Yeah, a mix of both.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's take 2 that you really think based on skill level, and then 2 that you would like because you think you like the way they play and their, you know, how they behave maybe towards the media.
Well, let's start with the 2 guys who I think have a good shot at the title, and I'm gonna say Tero Laurila.
Yeah, okay.
He won the Irish Poker Open back in 2024.
That's a year ago, so but still.
Back in 1 year ago. Yeah. He knows what he's doing, for sure.
He knows that ace is high.
Ace is high. In most games, of course, but we don't have to expand on that. Who else do I think is really good? Well, I did see this one guy. No. Do you have any names?
I will do when you're done.
Okay. Well, let me at least take one other guy who I like as a person very much, and that's the Swede, Hans Erlandsson.
Yeah.
He had a deep run in the EPT Paris last year, if I recall correctly.
Back in 2024.
Yes. Super nice guy, great player as well, always fun to be around. Yeah, those 2 are my picks.
All right. So I'll then pick 2 that I also think will make it far, and I'll be a little bit less or more brave than you, who picked big stacks. I'm gonna say, although he's been losing chips today, coming in as the chip leader of from day 1, Marco Koplima.
Aces here.
Oh, 2. That's really high.
Yeah.
That's the. I don't know if you're not aware, but that's the best starting hand you can have, actually.
Oh, I learned so much here.
But no action, unfortunately for Igor's. Shows them to the rest and keeps them. He doesn't want to give them back.
He tries to give them.
Yeah.
That's of course not allowed.
Oh, that's what we call a pappa-skämt in poker.
Yes.
That joke. No, I'll keep them when they were so good.
Yeah. Never heard that before.
No. All right, so I'm going with Marco Koplima, although only having 365 in his stack right now. He's going to be on the final table, if you ask me. And then I'm also going to go with a long shot, because I like the name. Yngve Lommerud. Yeah. Never heard before, but I liked it.
Yeah,
Norwegian, they always luck out, you know. They find oil, they find chips.
It's a great game as well.
Yngve.
Great game. Great name, sorry.
Absolutely. But of course, there are some really good players still in. David Vinaya, who won the 5K.
Yeah.
Ritworth was second in that one. That's sick. They're both having a run again.
Rasmus, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
Top 5 stack.
Absolutely. He's absolutely one of the contenders. And I know nothing about Karolis Kauska's game, but 3.15 million coming into day 3 is a decent spot at least.
Yeah, it's more than 1 million more than the guy second in chips.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but there are a lot of fun names to look out for tomorrow. And I see that we have Sara Benlamin in the 76th place out of the 78, and Lina Svilanite is still in. That's 2 of the ladies remaining. Do we know if we have more?
Yes, you have
Jenny Westerlund, yes,
from Sweden.
Or at least 3 female players still in the big main event. Always keeping an extra fingers crossed for them, of course, as well. But yeah,
and
stay tuned.
Speaking of fingers crossed, I think Johnny is
hoping for set, but he didn't have to because
No.
there's no flop.
Yeah, so that's even better.
Yeah, he gets to pocket 20 euros or something for just taking down the pot, and that can be easily used for 2 hot dogs in the hot dog stand outside.
Indeed. I must say that it's so nice to be on this side of things, because I actually also played a live streamed cash game table a while ago.
You did?
Yeah, I did. And
how did you do?
Well, let's just put it this way. I like to be here in the commentator's booth.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
To watch.
Yeah.
As she said.
And
yeah.
of course, aces again here.
Wow. Can we have any takers this time? Oh, he's just limping in the small blind, trying to trap induce Kenneth, and he falls for it, makes it 100. Now, Tony trying to look. No. Oh, should I really call this one? That old
Can I phone
trick.
a friend?
Yeah.
Or
Can I just let someone else play my hand? Can I just take it upstairs? Limp race?
But the question is he going to do the pappa-skämt after the hand as well?
I'll keep these. They were so good.
Yeah.
And we'll see. No, he's not that kind of guy. He's too young.
So he takes it down pre-flop here.
Yeah. And still over 100 in the pot. A lot of hot dogs.
Yeah, of course.
And to go back to the chat, William Hallenstown is asking if there's any live updates for the Sweden, and then I'll talk you through how to see how your father Amir is doing in that one, because I think that's why you're asking. And if you go to olibetevents.com, you'll find the full schedule of all the events. If you go to the event you're looking for updates for, click that specific event name. That is then a link that will take you to Poker Lens, and there you'll find all the live updates from that event in terms of chip counts every break and who's in and who's not. So that's the easiest way for all of you. If you want to see a specific event, maybe a friend is playing or something else, you just go to olibitevents.com, and then through the schedule of that event, you click the event and you're in Poker Lens.
Good question from Alexander Hallenstam, who I actually think won a WSOP Circuit ring here in Tallinn 2 years ago.
He did, right?
Yes. If I recall correctly, he won the PLO High-Low event.
That could be it. And then he had his father on the rail, right?
Affirmative.
Yes, confirmed.
Confirmed. And now he's back.
Or he's at home, maybe just wanting updates.
Yeah.
Because if he was here, I'm pretty sure he could walk into the room and look himself. Don't you think? Just think out loud.
You could be right.
I could be right.
Yeah. You usually are.
Well, they don't call me wise guy for nothing.
No. There's a reason you're not called unwise guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Wise are also our 6 cash game players here. Igor's fold is 4 under the gun. Let's see if anyone picks up something. Another race here for Kirill. I'm not very good with these Finnish pronunciations, but
I don't think it's finished, but
I'm not good
anyhow.
with pronunciations.
Overall.
Yes.
All right, but Kirill gets no action. And of course, I'm also taking a peek at the Sweden, since you asked for it. It's the first ever ring event being played right now in Sweden Special, that very special game. And 32 remaining out of the 113 runners in the 555 euro Sweden, so massive prize pool for a Sweden event. And as we said, 32 remaining, and number of payouts should be 18, no, 17. And 14,000 up top in the Sweden event being finished tomorrow. So, but they're still playing, tagging and tagging in an hour or so, I think.
So Sweden, of course, being invented in Sweden back in the days.
Yeah, at the poker club called Sweden.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. Before we talk anything more about that, let's see Kirill with his kings making it 175 from the early under the gun range from Tony. Oh, interesting spot. But 3-betted already. It's fold with the 8s. I think where a pair of 5s went into the muck as well. Did we see that?
Yeah, you're right.
And now back to Tony then, knowing that this is one of the not final hands, but they're just playing some 20 more minutes or so. So maybe you want to take a shot at it with this suited ace. Yeah, here he comes to the flop. Heads up then, Kirill and Tony. Will there be an ace or many clubs? It will not. Top set for Kirill. Hard to get anything more out of Tony now, unless Tony goes wild.
Have you seen many wild plays tonight?
I have not seen many. No. These are fairly
2-bet 130.
130 was the bet, but it's of course enough.
Yeah,
No backdoors for Tony at all. We would have loved to see at least one club on that board, right?
Backdoor straight, right?
And of course, in the Sweden, one of the biggest stacks, Peter Laterra,
yes,
unofficial world champion in Sweden.
As
If you ask himself.
As I was saying, you can really understand why there are so many Swedish player entries in the tournament.
Yeah.
So
Aha.
he's actually in there.
Maybe not anymore, because these are a bit old updates, so might be out and just asking for updates then. Mr. Hallenstam.
But yeah, Sweden is a great game. It's great fun.
It absolutely is. And unfortunately, we're not live streaming this event, but hopefully in the future, as Sweden Special is really growing. And I'd like to give a special shout out to the guy inventing the game back in the days in Sweden Poker Club in Stockholm, Mr. Anders Bengtsson. He's not sadly here to try to win the first ever ring, but he has a good reason for it. He's getting married tomorrow.
Oh, really?
So shout out to Bengan and Oda, his wife to be.
That's so nice to hear.
I'm pretty sure they're not listening to this stream, but still.
They should. The day before the big day.
Day before.
Yeah.
What else should you do than just follow this cash game stream from Tallinn? There's no rehearsal dinner. It's just poker.
Exactly.
Ace Queen now for Kirill. They're going 60. And Kenneth's coming along from the big blind with a nice hand.
An ace on the flop
Underplaying the
here.
ace jack a bit, but of course not 3-betting. And another pretty dry board for these hands, of course. So Kirill probably able to take down the 20 hot dog big pot by just a continuation bet.
Oh, you were right again.
Yes, so tomorrow then, is it noon start for the main event?
It's noon start for the main event, and that's also the case for the Sweden conclusion.
Yeah,
I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
There's actually 5 ring events tomorrow.
Wow.
Because you got the main event, you got Sweden, you got the Mystery Bounty, which also will be there will be a winner crowned in. Then you got the 3K Texas.
Oh, okay.
And then you got the online event as well.
All right.
Yeah.
And all right, but nice with so much action, and especially, of course, concentrating on the live ones here. We will be streaming the Mystery Bounty from 1:30 all the way down to a winner, I presume. And there will be, of course, it's a fun event, because if you're not familiar with Mystery Bounty, Christopher, tell us what happened with those envelopes.
I will tell you, but first we have a very intriguing
do.
hand. We've seen some premium holdings here during the last couple of hands, and cannot know if he... Oh, and he gets free bet here.
Interesting.
A blind versus blind.
Yeah, so Kenneth now out of position with the kings. I would expect him just to come for the call to underplay his hand. Now he's going upstairs again, right? 575, is it? Yeah. Trouble for Kirill, maybe. But maybe it's just giving the respect to Kenneth for this 4-bet. And gives this one up. Of course, he wants to see a flop, knowing but this might be one of the last hands on this TV table, his last chance to win a big one. And yeah, he stays in. So nice for us to get to see at least one more big pot, because it seems like the players are leaving the table. Might be done for today on this table. And at least something for Kirill now. He has the inside straight draw, needs that famous deuce. Kenneth, of course, also happy with the flop, even more happy. And with the overpair, he was basically just trying to avoid the ace, of course, even though there might be small chance of jacks in the hand of Kirill, but then I think there would be 5-bet pre-flop between the blinds. So just see now, because of course just a small continuation, he will likely stay in as he does, hoping for that deuce, as he has no backdoor flush draw, unfortunately, for Kirill. Oh, wow!
He gets there.
This is scripted. Wow. What might be the last hand of this stream is actually going to be big, because it's 1.7k already in the pot. You can see they have 1.9 and 2.2 respectively behind them. And this is just bad news and so unlucky for Kenneth.
Yeah, it's a super dry flop as well.
Yeah, super.
Or board,
I mean, what hand in a 3-betted pot this big can you put your opponent on that could possibly beat your kings? It's only jacks, and so unlikely, of course. So this is just...
And he's in position as well.
Yeah, this is a nice poker face as well. Doesn't need any 8 hoodies around his neck to cover his veins. He's just gonna sit there and look rather unhappy, but inside his just heart is racing from the magic deuce. Double checking the card, looking like he's folding.
Yeah.
That old bluff.
You think he'll sell with a call here?
Yeah, I think he'll only call him, absolutely, because he's also out of position, so it's just like the perfect spot for him to get Kenneth to go another barrel. And of course now it's just no help for Kenneth. He's not getting away from this one. It's impossible. So this is 2.6 in the middle, and Kenneth Cook is just cooked. Yeah, there's the all-in, and the snap call, of course, will come, and the bad news will be to him as he sees what happened on the turn. Wow. Playing for 4 hours on this TV table, Kenneth then just unfortunately loses it all on the last hand. And yeah, this makes Kirill one of the 2 biggest winners of this table, as we are now, I think, done for tonight. Or will there be any more hands?
What a hand. What a turn.
Just discussing, you can see a couple of the players have already left the table, and now
they left their stacks on the table though.
Yeah, we'll see if this is the last hand or not. Discussions going on.
It looks like we finished.
Yeah, thank you for this experience. It was my first time on TV table.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for putting up the effort, as he thanks for the experience to play on a TV table. That's it for us for today as far as the cash game goes. But as we said, Christopher, we will be back tomorrow with a lot of more action. Here we are in the studio as well, sporting that nice Poker Pro hoodie, poker.pro, because that is where you'll be doing all the live updates tomorrow. Of course, also leech to orlybetevents.com. And you can follow the Mystery Bounty live here from 1:30, streamed at Olybet Poker YouTube. And then, of course, the big main event will be streaming it in the evening, but you will be reporting it all day long.
I will. It's going to be a thrilling day 3 tomorrow. We're playing down to the final table, and yeah, can't wait.
Can't wait.
And thank you for letting me join you here in the studio.
Also a first-time experience, maybe.
It's been real.
It's been real, guys. Thank you for tonight. We're going to leave you by that. And then 1:30 local time tomorrow. Don't miss the Mystery Bounty. All the envelopes will be live as well from the final table. And a lot of action in the main event in the evening. So olybetevents.com for the full schedule of streams and also the tournaments. Thank you for now. And for me and Christopher, good night.